Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find trails that control.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom end of the Nevada Triangle in California. Hello, welcome. I am also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. Been in existence for over 10 years now. Got a team. We investigate everything paranormal. So we're just not in, talk show host per se, but we actually go out and we investigate and try to find the truth for you guys, and that's why we always have a lot of cool stuff here, because we don't try to copycat other people. We go out and get our own information, and that's what we bring to you. So, to my right, to your left, my co-host Alan Thomas.
Hi, everyone.
And womening the boards back in the dark corners of our new studio, Emerald Benia.
Hi, everybody.
I am.
Hi.
Today we are going to start 3-hour long program. 3 hours, you guys. 2 hours is just not cutting it for us anymore. We're just coming up with some great stuff that 2 hours, we just can't do it in 2 hours anymore. So we want to thank the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com for allowing us that extra third hour, and I appreciate it. We are getting a lot of great response from our fans from all over the world, and our YouTube is just blowing up. And Alan could pretty much attest to that. So,
And we want to thank all our YouTube subscribers. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe.
Because you are missing out if you're not. And so, thank you very much. Tonight, go ahead and plug them in. Tonight, we are going, just like every night, or every Sunday actually, we have a Sasquatch reporter by the name of Danny Valderrama. He's on top of the Bigfoot news all around the world, and we are going to get him on the phone right now. And for all those who are watching us at live stream, you are going to be visually looking at the pictures that we put up. If you are at the artbell.com website, you can go on the homepage and just look for Paranormal Central for today's date, and you will be able to look at the same pictures we are looking at today. So, and I think Danny is back from his vacation. Are you there, Danny?
Hello, little buddy.
Little buddy.
3-hour tour, man.
Oh, God, Danny, you come out with the greatest stuff, man, I tell you. That's why you're hired. So, 3-hour tour. You know what? That's actually, we can't trademark that. We can't get Gilligan's Island on here. No, they won't allow us to. Anyway. All right. Well, hey, how did your trip go, Mr. Danny?
It was amazing, man.
Oh, I forgot to show you.
I don't know if I'll do a Bigfoot report next week because there's too much to talk about.
Oh.
It might just be all UFOs.
No, well, actually, we're going to talk about what you did in Vegas next week. And we have a little surprise that we're going to have, too. And, Danny
There's a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures, so that's going to be cool. But for the art, for Keith at Art Bell, we're still going to send you some pictures, but it's going to be some UFO stuff. So, and Danny brought us some refreshments, liquid refreshments. I got to give it to you. I forgot to give it to you, and I'll give it to you after the show today. But yeah, Mr. Danny was in Vegas all week, and I'm going to say it again. You suck.
You went to all the cool places too, man.
You met Katy Perry, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought it was the wax figure.
It was. Yeah, and he was looking down her shirt too. You nasty little dude. So I know how Danny is. So, all right, let's get into the Sasquatch report for today's date. And today is the end of Dia de los Muertos.
Really?
Yes, it is. And as you can see right behind me, folks, I have Slender Man looking down my shoulder. And they're scaring the crap out of me because I tell you, if he touches me, I am going to jump. So
he screams like a little girl
shut
too.
So, but yes,
We've all heard that.
Shut up. Slender Man will be with us just for today's show, and he will be disappearing because Dia de los Muertos is the end today. Started yesterday, and today's the end. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and get into the Sasquatch report for today's date of November the 2nd. So for all of you who are listening at artbell.com, go for it and pull up the Paranormal Central on homepage there. And we're going to go to photograph number 1, and let me click on it, and let me show it to you right now. All right, photograph
All right.
number 1.
This is from the Mysterious Universe page. This is from October 13th. And this has been happening a lot lately. Another white Bigfoot has been reported in Maine. And this happened in Eddington, Maine. A boy whose name has been withheld told a cryptid research organization, Team Rogue, who's in that area, that he had seen a big white creature running into the woods near his family's home. So the family didn't see it, but they did find a fresh deer leg that had been completely ripped off.
Ooh. And
it's just laying there. So they gave it to the research group, and the research group also found footprints in the area.
Wow.
And then they took the boy to the area that he saw it, and the boy said he saw it standing against a tree before it took off running. So they measured the tree at about approximately where it was, and it measured to about 8 feet tall. And this has been the second sighting in Maine. There was another one earlier. It was a man walking his dog in Litchfield, Maine, who saw a white Bigfoot. And that's not too far away. And there was actually a third one, but it wasn't in Maine. It was nearby in Shaftesbury, Vermont, in January of 2014, where somebody else had seen another white Bigfoot. So
wow.
People are seeing something in that area.
You're right. And, why would they make up an excuse of a white Bigfoot? Because all you know, and when you talk about Bigfoot on TV, finding Bigfoot stories, it's always brown or black, but
or
never
red.
Or red, but never white. So obviously these people, they would not know to bring out the color white. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they saw something white, and if it was
two adults and a kid, and the adults are backing up the kid's story. So
very cool.
And history, Maine has had a history of sightings dating back to the 1800s. And this Team Rogue has believed that it's because of all the apples in Maine. And they're saying that in the Himalayas, Ukraine, China, and Oregon, what they all have in common is an abundance of apples. Wow. So they're thinking that's the reason why they're seeing them.
Yeah, well, for all those who live up in the mountains and have the ability to plant apple trees, if you want to attract Sasquatch, well, you know what? All kinds of fruit, right, Alan? I mean, apples, oranges. Yeah. Down here in the San Joaquin Valley, where we live, they've been seen down here, and mostly because of the orange trees. Right. We have a lot of orange trees, and talking about Orange Cove, Reedley, just Minkler, up there, Squaw Valley. Yeah.
Well, we also like for the last 15 years, we've had reports from a couple of tribal people and people up in the foothills where I used to live that reporting a white Bigfoot. Really? 6.5 feet tall and seen all the way from Pine Flat all the way up into Burro Valley.
Shaver.
Yeah, Shaver Lake,
Lake.
even Dinky Creek.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when we were at the last year at Dexter's haunted house.
Yeah.
Your brother, or was it 2 years ago, maybe it was, but a Hmong family was in line, and they actually told him that, hey, they were going up the Table Mountain up, what's that?
Friant Road.
Friant Road,
Yeah.
Up that way, right? Is that Friant?
Oh,
No.
You're talking about the back way,
The back
Millerton?
way, Millerton, right?
Yeah.
And there's those cherry trees up there. They saw a Bigfoot run across that right there where the cherry trees, right before Cherry's Roadhouse.
Oh, wow.
And they saw a Bigfoot. Now, why would they make up a story? They went. They saw a hairy man run across the street right where the cherries were. Well, that perfectly logical explanation. The fruit, man. They're down here for the fruit. So very cool. All right, let's go to picture number 2.
All right, story number 2 has a couple pictures. It's
Okay.
the Sasquatch Summit that's going to be taking place. This is from the Bigfoot evidence page. It's going to be taking place in Ocean Shores, Washington, November 21st and 22nd. And we actually spent the night there when we were on vacation one time. And Ocean Shores is pretty interesting because they're one of the only places that we went to that has an actual freeway that runs on the beach.
Huh.
So you can drive your car on the beach and you're actually on a highway. And it's on their map too. It's pretty weird. This summit is going to be showcasing various research methods and results of 2014. It's going to have Tom Powell, Derek Randalls, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Tom Cantrell, Bob Gimlin, Phil Poling, Ron Moorhead, and then just recently announced is Todd Standing.
Ooh,
And,
man.
The
That's
next
been
picture that you have there is the picture of Todd Standing.
All right, let's go ahead and get him up.
that's been a big deal here lately, isn't it? You know,
Yep.
everybody on Facebook fighting like, why would Jeff Meldrum and all these guys associate themselves, Les Stroud, with Todd Standing, the hoaxer, right? He's not
Well,
really...
his appearance, when they announced his appearance, it was stated that as research and evidence, he will present his research and evidence that will shock the world.
Sweet. So whatever swayed
Whatever
Les
Meldrum
Stroud.
and the other guys know, we're finally going to get to know.
Right.
Yes.
So obviously, and like I said before, Jeff Meldrum and Les Stroud are intelligent people.
Yeah.
They would not be hanging around Todd Standing unless they've seen something that just blew them out of the water, and that's why they're sticking with them.
And Les Stroud, yeah. So Todd Meldrum and Bender Nagel, all of them have been with him and are backing him. And he's been researching for the last 10 years in the Sylvanic region of the Rockies, and that was named by the First Nations people. And in 2006, he showed 2 crystal clear videos of what he filmed, and he used them at the Canadian government for species protection of the Bigfoot. And it was certified, but then tabled at the Canadian House of Commons. So they're still they just tabled it after certifying it, so it still hasn't been approved.
That's
But
weird.
the 2-day pass for this event is only $25, and if you want to be a vendor over there, it's $100. So it's not a bad price for a 2-day event.
Right.
Wow.
Where's this at?
It's Ocean Shores, Washington,
Washington. Oh, yeah, that's where everything's happening. So.
That's far.
the southern west part of Washington.
Right on.
Maybe someday when we have a budget, we'll make all these places.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Got the next picture up. Paul Freeman.
All right, this is from the Cryptomundo page and also the Coalition for Reason, Science, Sanity, and Bigfoot Research. And Paul Freeman has been, he was a United States Forestry Service worker. And so I'm getting another call. Yeah.
Somebody's reporting a Bigfoot. Just put us on hold.
Yep. And he claimed to have his first view. But Freeman claims in the video that his videos have been debated for years as being hoaxes, and some people are saying they're actually real and stuff. But there's not enough, really. They're too grainy. He didn't have the top-of-the-line stuff that we have now.
Right.
But Dr. Meldrum went out there unannounced one time in 1996 with his brother, and just because they were getting word about all his findings, and they wanted to see if he was actually hoaxing and maybe catch him in a hoax. And they showed up unannounced to see what he was doing. And he had told them, "Well, I found some fresh prints this morning. The first ones of spring. If you guys want to go see them, they're not really worth casting." But Meldrum said, "Yeah, let's go take a look at them." So that he took them out there to where they were, and expecting to see proof of a hoax. And when Meldrum saw what the prints were, he saw 14-inch prints. Some were turned at 45-degree angles, and what that meant to Dr. Meldrum was that this thing was actually walking and then turned and stopped and looked over its shoulder to see if anything was following it. And some had great detail, some were flat, and others were just like the front ends, which were meaning that the toes were gripping into the ground and it was running. And he said those are all impossible to fake when you have that many different prints.
Right.
If you had a foot cast that you were imprinting into the ground, every single one of them would be exactly the same.
Right.
But this is showing the toes in a different position prints on the cast that he made were the first ones to show dermal ridges, which pretty much convinced, and this was back in 1996. And Meldrum, this is what convinced Meldrum that this thing was real. And he's been researching ever since.
So the Paul Freeman is basically convinced Jeff Meldrum then?
Yeah, so
Wow.
he thinks that the video is real.
Okay.
And there's a lot of people, the people that have actually researched this think it's real. And the people that just take a look at the videos, it's fake.
Right. So,
They
sure.
don't believe anything.
Right.
But Dr. Meldrum, after Freeman died in 2003 at the age of 59 from diabetes, Dr. Meldrum purchased Freeman's entire collection of foot casts for $2,000 because of all the dermal ridges on them. And he did film that Bigfoot in '94, and he thought it was just 2 Bigfoots, but there was a DVD that came out later, the one where Dr. Meldrum's in, and they're trying to. It's the book that you have that you got signed by Meldrum that was made into a DVD.
Right.
And in that video, they had HD TV quality on the screen there. And what the producers of the show actually found out was that there wasn't 2. There was actually a third infant. And in the end of the video, you can see the infant being raised up by one of them.
Wow.
You can see its legs kicking. I have never seen that because I don't have there's hardly any HD quality. I haven't found one yet where you can see that. They're
Everything
saying it is on there.
it's blurry, every one of them that I found.
Yeah.
But I think it's
really
real.
low pixelated and all that.
Yeah. But I still think it's real.
Yeah, I think it's real.
From what I saw, you know how what I saw was black shiny fur, and that's identical black shiny fur. Maybe the body shape isn't the same,
Right.
but only it's real.
Wow.
So
Okay.
you guys want to
They're
see
calling
a real
him like
one?
one of the luckiest man in the world because in '82 he had his first sighting of an 8-foot one while he was still working with the forestry department. But then they forced him out because he kept talking about it, and they just told him that he was a hoaxer.
Wow.
And then he also found knuckle prints in '86. He found handprints in '93. He found buttocks imprinted, and that was years before the Skookum cast was ever found. And in '94, he videotaped the 2 Bigfoots. In '95, his friends went out there and found handprints and footprints. So it's all he's been really meticulous in documenting all this. And Cliff Barrickman, from Freeman's daughter, got a map that she found where he actually, on the map, it's the 4th picture, I believe. And it shows everything that he found, he documented on there. Handprints, footprints, the video area, everything is documented. And if you were hoaxing something, I don't know if you'd take that kind of time and document everything on there.
Right.
And he also marked the direction the footprints were going and coming back from, and everything was marked on there. If you see that map, you can't get it bigger. I wish it was bigger.
Right. But I mean, if that's what he did, then he probably figured out when it migrated and what season and it went and came and all that.
Which is why he had so many prints, and because he knew where it was going to be.
Right, exactly. Where he was going to be at certain fall and winter. Winter it probably went lower down or lower elevation, and when deers migrated to a certain area, it moved wherever it needed to go to eat. So,
yeah.
Wow.
The thing he filmed was so huge, and it had such a small head.
Right.
It's weird.
Right. That's very cool. So I loaded the video. Obviously, if I play it,
You might get a meltdown.
Well, no, Art Bell's site, they can't listen to it or see it, obviously. So we're just gonna, and
It's on YouTube.
It's on
everywhere
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Right? It's on YouTube. So okay, very cool. All right.
All right.
Is that it? So
That is it. Oh, I do want to say there was one person on the Paranormal Central page that has been trying to get his name said on our little TV show here for like weeks already. So I just want to say thanks for listening, Michael Paradise. He's been commenting on a lot of stuff.
Michael Paradise.
Paradise.
I've seen that name on Facebook.
Yeah, he's comments on everything.
On everything, right? Michael Paradise.
He's really cool too.
Yeah, he's out. He's one of our biggest fans. So
Yeah.
Michael Paradise, greatly appreciate it. Keep watching wherever you may be.
Thank you, brother.
Right on. So okay. All right,
right.
Danny. Next week it's going to be
4-hour show.
No, 3-hour show, but Danny did some reconnaissance while he was in Vegas. That's all I'm going to say. All right, Danny. That's right. We'll see you next week.
Man,
All
I was
right.
lucky to be here then.
See ya.
Didn't get arrested.
See you, Danny.
See ya.
Hi.
So, next week is going to be cool. I didn't want to talk about it that much, but it's going to be cool. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. All right, let me fix
I
this.
love UFO stuff too.
Yeah, because we don't get to talk about UFO stuff that much.
Not lately, no.
And I'm going to tell you why. When there are so many UFO stories out there, guys, a lot, and I don't like to just read off stories to you. I mean, if you want to read stories, you can go on the internet and read stories. All right, that's just blah. If I get a UFO sighting with confirmation, and I get the person who saw it with pictures and videos or whatever, then I'm going to bring them on to let them talk to you about it coming from them. I think that's the way it should be done. There are so many other people doing different things, which is fine, but that's not the way I want to do this show. All right? I want to bring you the stuff from the people who get it. All right? And simple as that. So, like last week we had Jessica from Utah who captured that killer UFO right off that, Hill Air Force Base. That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was.
So, that I want to continue doing that. And we get calls all the time from people who witness things. Unfortunately, at night, they're mostly at nighttime. And at nighttime, you really can't get a good picture. And especially with cell phones.
Remember when, I don't know when it was last year, everybody was taking pictures of that. It was like a mass UFO sighting of orange orbs. And they were like by the airport. And remember, everybody was sending the pictures
here?
in? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I've been running into people, like just this last week, 3 people that have pictures. And they said the cars were stopping on the side of the road and everything, and everybody was taking pictures. And they were asking me, how come there's no more pictures of that online? And I told them, I don't know. I don't know why.
Well,
but they have pictures of it too.
Well, they see, and unfortunately, at this point, you guys, we're not well known like Art Bell or C2C or anybody like that. So they, nobody knows where to call or send us the pictures yet. Give us 3 more months, 4 more months, guys, and hopefully, I don't want to say we're going to be a household name, but people are finally going to realize that there's a couple of dudes out in Fresno that are crazy enough to have a show. I think I better call them because,
and
I got
put a phone number out there.
Yeah, and put our phone number out there.
A lot of people don't do that.
Right, right. So,
but all those people that I talk to, they now have our phone number.
Good.
If they look up, and I tell them, look up. One lady said she never ever looks up, and then the first time she did, that's when she saw the, 100
orange
orbs.
things. Yeah. So,
and she said she watched them for almost 20 minutes, and then they zipped off. It was like, wow,
that's crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna get into it. So, this past week I placed something on my Facebook wall, basically breaking news alert, that I have some cool pictures that I'm going to show everyone today. Fresno has been the talk about underground stuff here in Fresno, all right? And the main thing people are talking about when they say Fresno underground is the Chinese tunnels west of Fresno. To this day, I have never, ever seen any pictures of tunnels, period. I've seen video and pictures of people going into basements and all of a sudden seeing what looks to be new bricks and old bricks where possibly a door used to be and covered up, and that's as far as they got. Well, I got some pictures to show everybody. I'm not going to tell you where I got them, but I'm going to show them to you, and I'm going to blow you guys away. I think here on Paranormal Central tonight, basically, I am going to break out the, people were saying it was a myth. The Chinese, tunnels are just a myth. Bull crap. What I'm going to show you tonight, I think it's going to be basically the golden ticket. I think I've got it. All right, and then I'm going to show them to you guys. And I don't know if I should tell you where exactly, but I think I should. I'm going to tell you. Well, we're going to get into it. But
What were they used for?
who knows? Back in the days. Well, this is what they say. Well, see, I was talking to somebody where I got these pictures were actually taken with my cell phone. All right, so we'll talk about it later on. But I mean, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight because we got 3 hours. So, guys, I hope you guys have a nice, cold, refreshing, ice cold beverage or hot coffee and some apple pie or whatever you want, because you guys we're gonna have some fun tonight, just like every Sunday from now on. So, all right, Dia de los Muertos. Halloween was Friday night. Gosh dang it! It rained here in Fresno, California. We are in a drought. Major drought. All of a sudden on Halloween night, what happens? We get hammered, and I mean hammered. The clouds came in, and we just got knocked with weather. I mean, wind and rain every year. And my wife and I have been doing this since we moved into this house. We started off small, and we pretty much got bigger and bigger. This year, I really didn't put my full effort into it, but my wife, Cheryl Diane, whatever her name is, really got into it, and she pretty much did everything by herself. I did a couple of things, but she did everything by herself. But unfortunately, the rain came. We opened the haunted house for about an hour, and the rain came, and we had to shut down. But the people who came in line and got in line and went through it, it was a fun time, just like we have every year. The Slender Man right behind me, my wife pretty much put together. I want to show you a picture. If you're not friends on Facebook, I want to show you this cool picture that I think I probably got the most likes on Facebook out of anything I've ever put up, only because this is a bad picture.
I mean, that's the coolest picture I've seen in a long time. I mean,
I'll put up Slender and my wife, all right? This is my wife, Cheryl, and Slender Man, and I just wanted to, I think when I took this photograph, right away I said, holy smokes, this is a bad ass picture. And there it is. So this is the kind of stuff that we do in our backyard. So that's my wife. She's 2 feet tall, and there's Slender Man. So you obviously, so yeah, I just wanted to show you this picture and where Slender Man came into play, which is in back of me, because this is a really, really cool picture. So, all right, so.
Yeah, he's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah, he's a tall dude. We actually had to shrink him down a little bit to get him into the studio here today. So we had to cut off his legs, but but there you go. But yeah, I mean, that's an awesome picture right there. So, all right, I just wanted to show you that because I just think that's an awesome picture. And kudos to my wife for putting all this together.
It still looks good, too. I was out running around in the haunted house just a little while ago, having a good time.
So, all right.
Still scary.
Okay, let's continue on with Dia de los Muertos. And, I can say that because I can.
I can't.
White boy can't do it. Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Emerald, can you do it?
I'm not even going to try right now.
So, all right.
I need beer before I can say that.
I can't roll my R's. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. But your last name is Bonilla, and you still can't do it, huh?
I don't have an R in Bonilla.
Well, I know, but, can your mom do it? Probably. Dia de los Muertos. No?
No, I'm not even going to try.
White girl.
Yeah.
But she ain't no white girl. So.
And what does that mean?
Day of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
At least I knew
I
what
can
it
say
meant.
that. Day of the Dead.
So, all right, let's continue on. I got a list here. I got this very cool call this past Monday. All right, and I forwarded the email to you and Danny, and it was about I'm not going to say his name, but let's just say he's a retired fire chief, and he has been. I'm just going to say he's a retired fire chief from the area, all right, and he's been watching us, and he really likes our show. And hey, I know you're watching. Okay, I'm not going to say who you are, but I want to let everybody know. We, I believe, are sticking to the real stuff here, and even Alan said, they're watching us very closely. Certain people aren't not supposed to even talk to us because we're that hot right now. Because we're hitting it on the head, aren't we, Alan?
Yes.
In what way?
We're telling the truth, and we research it. We don't like read an article in the paper and then regurgitate it back to you, or watch a video on YouTube and then regurgitate it back to you, or watch some show on the History Channel and then regurgitate it back to you.
Right.
We go find our own stuff. We report on some things that we find that are interesting, and we'll talk about it. But mostly we're researching our own stuff, and that's the part that scares everybody, because we're digging around, and they don't like that.
No, they don't.
The government and some of the authorities around here, they don't like people digging around in the areas we dig around.
And they would rather just us watch Finding Bigfoot and Ancient Aliens and talk about that instead of what's really going on.
They
out
want
there.
us to regurgitate this stuff back to you. Yeah,
Right, that's
but
exactly right.
We
So,
don't do that.
so let me tell you what happened here. He emailed me. No, he actually sent me a text on my 24-hour hotline, and he says, "Hey, did you get my email that I sent you last week?" And an hour before he texted me, what happens on our Facebook, on our website, Alan set up a form that if you want to send us a email, you just fill out the form, hit send, boom, it sends it right to us that instant. Well, this gentleman, this fire chief, on the day after the October the 19th show, I think it was on a Monday, he filled out the form and sent it, right? What a coincidence that as soon as I got his text on my 24-hour hotline, an hour before, his email finally got to me. A week later.
What?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay. So
who's grabbing our stuff?
Exactly.
Somebody's grabbing our stuff and reading it.
And holding it.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they let this one go, because somehow they knew he was going to get back to us and say, "Where's the email?" Oh. Okay. But what I don't know.
How many are gone? That
How
we
many?
never saw?
No. How many emails or forms that we are not getting, or how many phone calls that we are not getting? So I'm telling you right now. All right. This gentleman last October the 20th sent a form, an email, a long one, and I didn't get it 1 hour. I got it 1 hour prior for him texting me, telling me, "Hey, where did you get my email?" Then all of a sudden I get it 1 hour before he texted me.
That you should have got it almost instantaneous.
Exactly. That's why
when
I
they
actually
hit send. It should pop in your email.
and all of a sudden I go
Yeah.
bing, and
Yeah.
there it is.
Right.
I didn't get it till a week later. But I think the only reason why I got it is the jets are taking off out of the military base here in Fresno, California. Can you hear it? That's loud. Okay. Now, maybe they're trying to tell us something. And a lot of times while we're on the air, we get UFO sightings, guys. We have the 144th Fighter Wing here in Fresno, California. They're controlled by NORAD. And if there are some UFO or anything that's unidentified flying in our airspace on the West Coast, these suckers take off and they fly. And we've had calls come in on Sundays that, hey, somebody spotted something, the jets are taking off after them. So we might get a call. So anyway, let's go back to the fire chief. What's tripping me out, you guys, and I cannot figure out how. If I got his email 1 hour before he sent the text to my 24-hour hotline, how did they know he was going to text me? You follow me?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
know.
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. It's like
Unless he was talking to somebody else.
on the phone, said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to send these guys,"
Right.
or he was talking out loud to somebody and they were monitoring his phone, and they knew he was going to do that, and all of a sudden that's when they sent it an hour before.
Wow.
Okay,
That's interesting.
that's what happened last week, and I was totally tripping. As a matter of fact, I had to text him, and I'll show you the text on the 24-hour hotline. I said, "Are you sure what the hell was that?"
That was me, sorry.
I go, "Are you sure that you sent it after the 19th show?" And he goes, "Yes, I sent it the day after."
You'll have, it should say on the email when he made it still.
Well, I sent it to you, so we'll have to go back and check it. But no, I think it said the 20th or something like that on it. So they intercepted that email and held it. And we would have probably never have seen that unless, they
figured out he was going
to contact us. Yeah.
Man, that's brave.
Scary.
You know.
That's actually scary.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're being, that's kind of ballsy.
Right.
Steal our, take your stuff and.
So I'm telling you, okay, so this is going out to everybody out there who has tried to get a hold of us and we have not responded back to you, or you've sent an email asking for a response in some way and we haven't. Don't be surprised if they intercepted that particular email or call from you, and that's why we didn't get it. So, like I said, there is something going on that we are really close, or we're just nailing it. That's all it's to it.
But it's not new for us.
No.
Like, this has been going on like this for like 4 years.
Right.
I mean, serious. I mean, we wind up at someone's house and then they tell us all about us and and the TV producer that we're with. I mean, these kind of weird things in white vans and all kinds of stuff. I mean, like.
I want to show you that white van.
I'm serious. It isn't new for us. I mean, and a lot of people might be sitting out there going,
white
"Oh
van.
yeah."
I'm gonna show you the white van's video.
It's like sure, but only no, really.
Okay.
Like you go outside and as soon as they I'll take my cell phone and I'll start to take pictures of them, and that's when they drive away. You know what I mean? And they'll sit there for a few days and I'll be like, man, that's a weird looking.
I've been getting a lot of people who now, since Chasing UFOs are on Netflix.
Right,
okay, for all those who don't know.
So they can see the white van on that one.
Okay, but a lot of people were saying that was you guys set that up. A lot of people.
No, we didn't.
No, that was so just oh my God, freaking look. Okay, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, we did an episode with James Fox and Aaron Ryder on a show called Chasing UFOs. The episode is called Dirty Secrets, and it was a whole episode on Fresno, California, because. We got a call from James Fox, and he, wanted to know what the heck was going on over here. So they came down, and, they were down here for how many days? 8?
Yeah, about 8 days.
8 days filming, you guys. All right?
And usually it's only like 3 or 4.
Right. They didn't want to leave. James Fox and Aaron Ryder did not want to leave because of all the great stuff that they were getting.
Well, if you remember, like before they even got here, the producer came.
Right.
And me and the producer are running around, and we're like setting up the areas to shoot. And she took it upon herself to stop and look at the airport, remember?
Right.
And she got held at gunpoint. And then from that point on, she was followed by white vans and police cars. On the freeway, everywhere. Yeah. Yep.
If that's exactly what happened to poor little Shane, 4 feet 3 or whatever. She was basically... and for all the 8 days that you guys were filming, and while I was with you guys as well for a certain amount of days, we were being followed.
Yeah. Even we were out, we found where the UFO crashed.
Right.
Okay, we had a crashed UFO. I mean, okay, this sounds weird.
I know, trust me.
A UFO crashed, and we found where it was, and they brought out this really nice FLIR truck, and it had the, $100,000, several $100,000 cameras in it that could frame a human 20 miles away and see details, right? And guess what's on the hill across from us? A white van. And it was surveilling us. But then when it realized that we had this FLIR truck, and all the cameras aiming at it, that truck backed up and disappeared around the side of the mountain, never saw it again.
And, they actually used the white van. Now, we were at the levee north of Fresno. And for all those who don't know, it's Shepherd and D. Wolf Avenue. And we were filming, and lo and behold, we were filming, and I turned around and I said, you guys look, and there's this white van trying to sneak out down the bottom of the levee. And And it took off, and they got on video, and they were looking at me and going, dude, I swear I didn't set this up, man. Well, somebody told me that that particular white van has also been seen underneath the Fresno Police Department down underground parking garage. It's been down there several times. I guess I don't know what it is, why they are surveilling that area. You know, there's something going on north of Fresno. You guys trust me. Yeah, it's that's why they don't like us, because what we are doing, we're sort of kind of putting Fresno on the map. When I think they for the years and years they've been trying to get people away from Fresno, but here we're bringing
I think
people.
they still are.
Yeah. Oh, they still are. You know, no water. Scaring businesses off. You know, they don't want people to move to here. They want people to get out of Fresno. You know, Fresno has been the butt of the jokes in all of the movies and TV shows. You guys, I've talked about that here. You can go to YouTube. There are like 4 YouTube videos where they show constant people when there's a, I don't know, comedy or somebody talking about a town. Yeah, when you go into Fresno, I'm not sure. You know, they're always talking about Fresno, but in a bad sense, though, right? Like you know, in a way, it makes you feel like, you know, when you go on vacation, people ask you, so where are you from? You're kind of afraid to say Fresno because people are going to make fun of you. Yeah. And that's the way people take our city here in Fresno. They don't, you know, when you say Fresno, people make fun of you. But now people are not making fun, and they're going, dude, you know, Fresno, that's where all the UFOs are at. Or the Bigfoot. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's the truth, man. So, you know, we didn't mean to happen that way. It's just that, you know, we're just trying to tell you guys this is what's happening over here, and we're reporting it, and it hasn't stopped. That's why we're doing this, because there's just so much crazy stuff happening here around, not only just Fresno and the cities around it and the towns around it. It's crazy. You know, oh man, we can continue on, but all right. Let's talk about really quick. Lately, we've been having a lot of air disasters.
Yeah, we have.
Okay,
yeah.
and I'm gonna
like that rocket that blew up.
Right. Let's start on October the 30th. We had a plane at the Kansas airport crash into the one of the buildings at the airport, and the pilot obviously died, but 3 people also perished in the building. That was October 30th. October the 29th. Let's start a little day early. October 29th. The NASA rocket exploded. Right. That's the one that was going to take some supplies to the International Space Station. Never got off the ground. Blew up. Boom. All right. Then October the 30th, the day after, that plane in Kansas crashed. Then on Halloween Day, the Virgin Galactic spaceship crashed. That was doing a test out in the Mojave Desert. That one blew up and crashed, and the pilot died. So what's going on here, you guys? Now, this past weekend, actually on Friday, we had some electrical problems here in our house. And Alan was saying that right now and then it could be because maybe of the storm that came in.
Could.
But somebody is saying we're also having some massive solar flares again. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the actual storm that we're having or it's the solar flares. But we're having some weird electrical stuff happen here at the house. And I had to replace a couple of things. So I don't know. Is anybody out there in Fresno having some electrical problems? Chat. But if you're on chat, let Alan know, because I want to know. Where you're at. Did you have anything blow up? What I would suggest from now on to everybody in the United States or in the world, wherever you're at, if you're not on the computer and you're not using it, unplug it. Right?
Yeah, all the way unplug it.
All the way unplug it from. And what I would do is unplug it. If you're on the internet, unplug the DSL cable, the Cat5 cable. Unplug that and unplug the power source as well. Because if we get hit with a power surge, you guys remember I work for AT&T, it can go through the phone lines and it can get to your equipment. All right? So you need to pretty much disconnect everything if you're not using it. That will save you a computer if we do get hit with a solar flare or a power surge of some kind.
And if you have a computer, like a regular, computer, not an iPad or stuff like that, it's actually a Faraday cage too.
It is?
Yeah, because all the real electronic components are inside of it.
Yeah, but there's still openings and stuff, though. I mean,
it's like a Faraday cage.
Really? Okay.
Unless you're wired in, if it has a wire going in it, then
right. Then so much for the Faraday cage.
Right. Yeah.
So disconnect all your cables. If you're going to school, if you're going to work, unplug those cables before you go to work, just in case, because it could be a car hitting a power pole, you guys, and the power pole falling and all the electrical just crossing each other. Now you got 220 going down your power lines into your house and blowing stuff up. So for your expensive equipment, even if you have TVs or LCD TVs, you don't have to unplug those, but get like a power surge protector, a good one, and plug all that stuff in there if you want to keep it plugged in.
Yeah, and then turn the switch off of it.
Right.
And you'll actually save money on PG&E too. Believe it or not, it's a lot. You'll save a lot. On my way over here, a lot of the stoplights were all blinking four-way.
Okay.
They weren't, working. They were all blinking, making a four-way stops. And I was thinking, man, that's weird. And then, remember last week we were talking about when that lady called you and then put on a three-way call? I haven't had one problem with my AT&T two-wire since that night.
Just that night.
Just only that night. It went off twice.
What a trip.
And that, I don't get it. I don't know if that was somebody or if that was like paranormal.
Right.
Like,
somebody didn't want for you to be talking to
right,
her.
Yeah. I mean, but only lately, the electronic thing has been weird, off the hook everywhere.
Right. So, if you guys are having some electrical problems, I want to know about it, because if it's happening here, it's got to be happening everywhere else, I think.
Rick makes a good point. He says if we get hit with a solar flare, we don't know when to unplug it. That's true.
Not necessarily, because
if they give us warning, but lately they're not giving warning.
Lately, though, if you really pay attention on Facebook, you'll see people post, "Hey, we just had a solar flare this morning at so and so." You do though, and I do, but not everybody on Facebook. Well, that's why you should be friends with us on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, Paranormal Central has a like page. Danny Valdrama is taking good care of that, and we're going to continue letting him do it. He's doing a good job. And if not, be a friend on my page, Jeffrey Gonzalez, and go be friends with Alan S. Sasquatchin. Why'd you have to come up with Sasquatchin? It's Alan Thomas or something.
Well, it is. Well, because I'm always Sasquatchin. I made it like 2008.
Oh, a long time ago.
When I made my Facebook. It was like a long time before we were doing this.
Okay. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and get into the pictures that I'm going to show you for the first time ever.
I was dying to see
All right. How do I do this without getting anybody in trouble? All right.
Just don't say no name.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say name. I'm not going to say. As you know, who I work for, and a lot of people going, "Oh, dude, he's the man. He's working with the man." Come on, guys. I work for AT&T Telephone. All right. I've been working in the telephone field for almost 30 years now. What I do for AT&T is, I work on the phone lines. I climb poles. I hook up people's internet and UVers. I do all that. All right. So I happen to know a little bit about telephones and stuff like that. You know what? Let's talk about the Wolf Manor. Let's talk about that too a little bit here. Wolf. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Wolf Manor. Okay.
I don't know if a lot of people know about that.
We'll talk about that after.
I was just talking to somebody that works for the police department.
Hey, that's what I want to talk about, actually, about the phone calls that get
by. They were getting. We could talk about.
I'm going to debunk that. Well, anyways, I don't want to, but I'm all about telling the truth here, guys. All right. So, anyways, all right. I work for AT&T. All right, so I am in a work van, and you probably see hundreds of vans out there. Well, I'm in one of those vans, all right? And we have boxes, which we call B boxes, placed all over, the city, where we go and troubleshoot and hook up lines and all that kind of stuff. So I was at the corner, let's just say in Chinatown, all right, working. And they were doing some construction. And there's some guy was just happened to he was having lunch. And I went up to him because I heard somewhere, somebody told me this particular area, they had, while they were doing some construction, they found some possibly some tunnels. And now I know where I heard that from. It was from Danny. He has friend who works somewhere out there, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but Danny told me that. So I went up to this guy while he was on break, and I said, hey, by any chance, did you guys find any tunnels? And he just looked at me and he goes, actually, yeah. And I went, really? And I said, yeah. I go, you think you can take me over there? And he goes, no, I don't think you can get in there. So let's just say I was able to get my phone into the property. I physically didn't take the phone. Somebody else did. All right. So I made them aware of who I was. I gave them a business card, said, hey, I would love to really get in there and maybe possibly get into these tunnels that you say you found. And somebody brought me back the telephone, and I had some pictures in them. And I went, holy beep, no freaking way.
But we still can't go in there, right?
But we still can't go in there. Well, and I'll tell you, because it's let's just say it's all fenced off. Now, the reason why these tunnels were uncovered is because they are starting to they're doing construction to clear a way for the high-speed rail to go through Fresno. And I find this really interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play you audio from a newscast that was done here in Fresno by ABC News. So hold on, you guys. Just bear with me really quick. Chinese tunnels, Fresno, California. And I don't know how to spell it, but there you go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... What the heck happened here? I'm going to play you the audio of the ABC... there it is. Which I'm going to find this... This is really, really weird. I would play you the video, but I'm going to play you the audio anyways. Here he goes.
Over 200 merchants and...
All right, that's just a commercial. Hold on. So, hold on. Okay. I'm going to lead you into it a little bit here.
All at the Fresno Fall Home Improvement Show, November 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Fresno...
I just gave him a free plug. They're showing video of construction of a backhoe, a very large backhoe, and they are digging on the west side of the train tracks and the west side in Chinatown, right? And I'm looking at this field, and there is no buildings or nothing. They just have a backhoe, and they're digging. So the engineers and archaeologists around there, and what they're saying is, they uncovered some brick walls that are like way down there. But I'm going, wait a minute. They notified ABC News to come down here so they could show them that, oh, these were not the tunnels. They were just part of an old building that was buried. But we wanted to show you this before we continued on. So I'm just going to let you hear the audio.
So it's like they're like debunking the tunnels?
Yes.
Chinatown leads to an underground discovery, just not the one many people have been buzzing about. That is our top story tonight at 6:30. Good evening. I'm Graciela Moreno.
Graciela Moreno.
Wrong. Old-timers have long talked of the existence of underground tunnels in Fresno's historic Chinatown. Up to this point, the tunnels haven't been proven to be anything more than urban myth, though. But an excavation crew thought for a moment it had uncovered proof the tunnels existed. Crews must first dig into Fresno's past before the planned high-speed rail project can move forward. They excavated dirt at a site in Chinatown. Deep trenches were dug where the backlots of buildings faced China Alley back in 1890. When the backhoe unearthed a brick wall, excitement grew among the crew. They thought they had come across evidence of an often talked about tunnel.
When we first revealed the two columns, it almost looked like there was a little archway there, and there was quite a bit of excitement. It unfortunately turned out to be probably the back wall of a fireplace.
The dig drew several onlookers. People like Robert Flores grew up hearing
Why were these
stories
people
of a
there in the
tunnel
first
system,
place?
which was part of an underground Fresno
You follow
scene.
me?
I heard about a lot of people that were.
Where did these
living
guys come
underneath
from? And it's
here
like,
in-
why
in
did they
the-
call the
here
media?
in Chinatown?
The city of Fresno says historically, several buildings downtown and in Chinatown were linked by interconnected basements.
However, a lot of people feel, and it's very widely believed, that there are lots and lots of tunnels underneath Chinatown. So we're prepared for if we were to encounter them.
Okay,
The
they're
dig
prepared.
site isn't far from
So
where
they called
high-speed
ABC
rail
News
is
to come and
expected
film
to
this?
someday pass through. Eventually, crews will tunnel under
Does
this area
that sound
at Tulare
weird
NG.
to you?
We are about 150 yards, maybe 200 yards from where the train's going to come through. But what we're doing is Tulare Avenue is going to go under. So we need to excavate a little bit.
Benjamin Camarena of the High Speed Rail Project says it's important to dig beyond the footprint of the site to see what lies underneath. An old jug was among the items found at this site. Excavation crews will continue their work all this week.
Okay, but they called ABC News to come out, like they had already planned it. You follow me? And all of a sudden, there's some looky-loos. Where did those people come from? And why are they there? Were they told about? Hey, I think we found something. Let's call ABC News. That's just weird to me. Okay, like.
Especially knowledgeable looky-loos.
Yes, and also, these were archaeologists and that were there to tell you, no, there weren't tunnels here. It's still a myth.
It's just basements
It's
connected.
the myth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why would you report on something if it's just a myth, though?
Because everybody says there's tunnels, and they don't want us to believe. They don't want anybody to know there
Right,
really
right.
is tunnels.
So they still want to continue because I have a feeling they're going to continue demolishing and digging, and they're going to find the tunnels.
Yeah.
If they didn't already.
But only see it. That would be history, and they can't destroy history.
Oh, it's like.
What do you
And-
mean they can't destroy history? We have altered our history.
Historical sites and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're not supposed to demolish
Well,
them.
they're not supposed to.
Environmental
but I'm sure...
impact reports and everything have to happen first.
I am so going to get in trouble for this. I am
You are?
so going to get in trouble for this. Well, why? I
Well,
got
mean,
him.
It might cause a little trouble. More white vans and stuff like that.
All right, people, here we go. I am going to show you.
And it's all for the train, this high speed
The high-speed
rail.
yeah.
I'm
That's
not
what
going
it's
to. I'm just
for.
going to. I'm just going to. I'm going to lower this. Right there. Bam, guys. Oh my God, what do we have here? All right.
See, I've talked to several people that played in those when they were kids.
Mhm.
I mean, that I know.
Right.
You know.
Okay, I want to show you. I'm going to tell you what this guy also told me. But right now, what I'm going to show you is what I did is I
lowered it down.
I
so
lowered it
nobody
down
can
some,
know
so
where
I'm
it
not.
is.
So I'm not showing you the streets and what's around there. Okay, but they were digging, and this is what they uncovered. So now I'm going to take you even further inward. So let me go and get out of there.
See, I bet there's a lot of cities that have tunnels like this. I would bet lots of money.
Okay, what you guys are witnessing here for the very first time, I think, in our history of Fresno, California, that has been out in public, are the freaking tunnels. This is it here. You guys are from Paranormal Central. I am probably going right now. The cars are coming up on the cul-de-sac. Stop! Turn those off now. I can already hear it. Okay, but here we go. All right.
You heard the
now
helicopter?
Look
Aw.
Wait.
Oh, wow.
Don't say
Just
that.
stop. No.
I'm too young.
Okay. Now check this tunnel out, guys. Look at the wood.
It looks like a mine shaft.
It looked like a mine shaft, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what's blowing me away is I am noticing actual conduit run on the side. Now, that's the beginning. What I'm going to do, after you, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to another one right here. All right. Now, he told me they found 2 tunnels. One going one way and the other one going the other way. So when they were digging, they basically cut into it.
Right.
All right. But there's conduit in here, guys. There's even water conduit, and it looks like electrical. So what the hell? If this was a myth, and we're talking underneath Chinatown, then I'm thinking there was some heavy money involved here to make these, where they actually ran power and water for some reason. Okay.
Well, I know, like what my friends told me is it was like they were connected to whorehouses and drug dens and stuff like that. And when they did the prohibition on alcohol, you could go and get in these tunnels and go from like a regular little, mom and pa store,
right?
And then you could go to a gambling house with all the alcohol and hookers, and that's what it was for.
That's exactly what it was. Well, yes and no, and I'm going to tell you why. Let me show you another picture.
Some of them were like escape patches, escape tunnel.
The guy who I was talking to, that's not coming up. How come? Okay,
cool.
The guy who I was talking to said, and I asked him, I go, hey, do you work a lot in this area? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, and he told me, do you know the shopping center off of Fresno and the 99? It has the Panda Express, the Food for Less, Burger King, and a Mexican restaurant in Rite Aid in that shopping center. I think it's like Fresno and F Street or something like that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. He says that location all used to be just houses. And he says when they were demoing all those houses, they caved in on some more tunnels over there. And all they were authorized to do was get sandbags and cover up the tunnel and continue on with building. Okay, now how far is that location from Chinatown? We're talking 5 blocks?
Easy.
And that's not Chinatown. Now we're talking old part of Fresno, where
like original Fresno.
Yeah. What's the street that goes down there near that airport? What's that? Chandler Airport. And then you got what's the name of that road? It's K. Starts with K. Kearney Boulevard.
Kearney Boulevard.
Okay, that is old part of Fresno.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he says there were tunnels out in that area too. So where are those tunnels coming from, or where are they going? Then I ran into, or actually called me on the phone, and for some reason I cannot get him now on the phone. His phone has been disconnected, but he's the one who told me about the tunnels at the old Japanese internment camps off of Belmont Cemetery.
Right, yeah.
That he said that the lady said that they went up all the way up to Yosemite. And I went, what? But didn't Adrian said his uncle used to play at the levee, and there was tunnels at the levee where the generals and all that used to go into.
And they pop up in Pinedale.
Yes, in Pinedale. And now somebody also told me, and matter of fact, it's Mr. White Rabbit. He's on Facebook, and I'm going to need to get you on here.
I had that sinking feeling, it's going.
And we're going to have to get him on the phone because he knows a lot about the underground stuff and all that kind of good stuff. So I know he's watching and listening to us right now. So, but here you go, guys. I mean, this is some cool stuff. All right, this is under Fresno. You've never seen this ever. You're watching this for the very first time.
How come they couldn't do like tourism? Fix them up and run tours.
Because I have a feeling these tunnels were used for something else as well.
And could you imagine, like, if that tunnel that wide went to Yosemite, that would be like a 2-week hike.
Well, I think it maybe.
You can't get your horse in there.
No. I think it's bigger now. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think
when you get over there, it might be larger.
I think, or, you know what I'm saying? There's something going on with Fresno, but this is some cool stuff here, guys. I mean, You know,
it's just like the ones like when you go, and they even have it on Huell Hauser. They let him go in this one, and they drove like a third of a mile or 3 miles or something like that under the mountain into the power generating plant.
Did you know that the X-Files actually filmed one of the last episodes up here at Shaver? And they used one of those tunnels for that.
See, and that's the one they let you know about. But what you don't know about is they go way back in the mountains. I mean, like way. I don't even know how they got them. And they said they were done in the late 1800s.
You know, for what reason?
But how did they do it?
But why?
That I don't know.
Why?
I know that we were hiking when I was a kid, and we came across one that was wide enough to run like 5 semi-trucks side by side into the mountain. And we were playing around there, but it had a sign saying, beware that water could come rushing out at any time, right?
And they did that to scare you, probably.
Yeah, well, we got out of there, but you know what? We'd go down there every summer, and we would not go down in it,
right?
But just sit up on the side and look at it.
You know what?
It never looked like there was water ever in it. You know what I mean? Like the old trees rolled down in there and rocks and stuff, and the stuff never changed. I mean, so when did the water come out? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
And I have been like around Kirchhoff, like Powerhouse number 1 or whatever it is. They have some little tunnels that say the same thing, and I have been there when the water rushed out of those. And you hear this roaring sound coming out like a train, and then all of a sudden, here comes all this water rushing through there. But you knew it would because it was all cleaned out. You know what I mean? Like debris never piled up in it, like the ones way back out, you know, in the mountains. But interesting about the tunnel thing.
Right. I'm going to show you. Again, if I don't get in trouble. All right, because it's all about showing you guys some cool stuff, and then you guys are going to go, whoa, that's cool. That's my intent, is to blow you away. All right. I'm going to go. If I get disconnected, I'll come back to you.
Man, we might get disconnected for this.
Yep. And I know that they're going to disconnect me, so that's right. This will be a part 1, part 2 thing, just the way it goes.
I don't get some of the reasons we get disconnected. I don't get it, but some of them I do get it.
Stand by, stand by. We're going to show you some.
Yeah,
photographs.
hundreds of miles of tunnels, hundreds of miles. Like the tunnels I'm talking about, they're on the backside of Yosemite. They're not in Yosemite, but just only a few miles from Yosemite. And they're all connected, interconnected, and they have powerhouses in them now. They channel the water through it. Interesting.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna show you. For all those who saw the episode of me and James in a tunnel. All right. At that time,
we're all watching you. We're all watching your email and stuff. Did you know that?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. It's cool. Right now there's a piggy.
Oh, son of a biscuit.
I'm watching.
I forgot I had it on there.
I see your password.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. Shit. Loser. Can't believe I did that, guys. I'll have to change it. That's all right. Desktop. But you should have told me. I didn't realize that was on there still. Oh, well. Yeah, I still have AOL because I'm old school.
Man, I used to know this old guy that worked in those tunnels, and he had hearing aids and 3 fingers missing. And he said he was one of the guys that built those tunnels back in those places.
Back in the days.
Yeah, and he said he couldn't talk about it because he signed a thing saying not to.
First rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
All right, almost done, guys. Hold on.
Denny says, you have mail.
Son of a beach. I can't believe I just showed you guys all that. Loser! I am a loser.
I agree with...
You agree I'm a loser?
So
no,
much
I
for
agree
being
that
a
that's how
techie.
come your emails get lost. You use AOL.
No,
That's
I
so
use
old.
AOL. Well, I'm using AOL because I'm trying to hide from the man.
Yeah, if you're not Google, Google takes everything.
Exactly.
Mhm.
All right, where am I at?
Firefox.
There you go. Okay.
GeoCities. Man, that's old ICQs.
Look at this, guys.
Remember
Check this out, guys. This was in one of the tunnels that we went in with James Fox. And this is
You should watch that show, you
yeah,
guys.
this is where we were in. We came in at the very end. All this is cement right here, right? There's a cement ramp. Let me show you the other one. It's probably better than that one. Is is it that one?
You guys want to see some scared people watch Chasing UFOs? Dirty little secrets.
We heard something in there, dude. Even the producers jumped. Get out of
They
here
all
now.
ran out, man. They came out scared.
Shut up.
I was out there cooking tri-tips.
Okay.
And here they all come.
Check
Oh my
this
God,
out.
oh my God.
Okay. You guys, are you guys seeing this right now? This is at the end of one of those tunnels.
Yep.
All right. Now you're trying to figure out. Okay, how big is this?
That's where Batman lives.
This tunnel here, you could fit a train. As a matter of fact, you see down here, these are actual train tracks. Right there and right there. All right. This ramp is made out of cement. This is all cement wall, and this is a tunnel that goes about 40 feet, and there is a steel door at the end. There is a mothership on the other side of that steel door.
That's what I heard.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Holy mackerel. I'm telling you right now. Are you guys watching this, you guys? You guys are probably showing this is for the first time in history, and I'm probably going to get arrested. But there was no fence there when we went in. So you can't get me for trespassing because there was no fence. So, but after we went later, there was a fence. All right, so there was no fence there, and now there is a fence. So, how did they know we were in there? I don't know.
Cameras.
No, there was no cameras.
I'm sure there
Do you
was.
guys? Are you guys looking at this? This here, the size of this tunnel is about.
It's huge.
I'm gonna say
You
about
could drive 2 semi-trucks side by side.
easy.
Yeah.
But see, this is the train track, so obviously they had a train going in there. For what purpose, guys? What's the purpose of this cement ramp?
Could be missiles too.
Could be.
Good question. I don't know, but
Well,
man,
I've heard of people getting radiation poisoning that goes in
well,
there.
let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We had a Geiger counter, and it was going off when we were in there.
Well, certain missiles use radiation.
But then again, yeah. But then
Rocks have radiation.
But then
like-
again, Ben, the third part of the team, the geologist, right? He gave us his 2 cents and
He's the
says
scientist.
like Renee is with finding Bigfoot, the debunker. All right, then and he said just like what you just said, that radiation. There's a lot of, especially in the rock and deep in, wherever you're at, there's the
natural radiation.
Yes, natural radiation, and that's what he said we were reading when we were in there. Okay, I can go for that, but what the hell is this for? That's what I want to know. I'm going. Why is it? Even James went in there and you said he seen his mouth drop. He went. And you're not looking at me right now, but I don't blame you. But let me put you on the control bar. Let me go there. But James walked in there and he goes, "What is that?" Yeah, that's why I brought you here.
That's what you're doing
Yes.
here.
Now check it out, guys. Check this. I swear this happened. It blew me away. The crew with James Fox and Aaron Ryder. Danny's sending me something. I think the police is telling me to knock it off. Hold on. Send me something via.
You know what? And the people that own that, they knew we were in there. I mean, they knew we were in the whole area. They were letting me barbecue at their spot. I was even barbecuing for the official people. And then you guys went in there, and all of a sudden, all the slam banging and everything started happening in
Somebody sent or placed Jill Glauser, I believe, and Paranormal Central just placed something that said the government has 103 tunnels through. I couldn't release. Outer of USA, Russia, and China. They have 500,000 tunnels. Ask yourself where all the gold's gone. To what? Fort Knox. Well, good question.
I heard there was a submarine that
got
went in one
lost.
of these tunnels and never came out.
Yes, I heard the same thing.
Under
too.
the United States somewhere.
Right. Yep.
And they lost a submarine.
It went under it from the coast. There's large caverns that they go under, and they come up somewhere in the middle of the United States, someplace in the Mojave Desert and stuff like that. Yep. That has come up several times because we are investigating, huh?
Portals.
No,
I wonder if
joke,
it's
it was a
going
game.
in the tunnel that Jimmy Church is talking about all the time.
Yeah, you know what? The one that they found over there near off of Malibu.
Yeah.
But something is telling me that isn't real. Our government is pretty much on it. And if there's something out there that they don't want you to see, they're going to knock it out of Google Earth. They're going to put a block on it, or they're going to grab a picture of some place of the ocean, and they're going to snapshot it, and they're going to paste it on something where you're not supposed to look. What Jimmy Church, those guys found, there's no way the government would be that stupid to leave something like that out in the open. I'm sorry, they wouldn't. All right, they wouldn't. So
Not that big.
not that big.
Because there is, if you go on Google Earth, there's chunks
Well, but see,
all over the place that's repasted. And
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
I
You
mean,
betcha
there
that.
is.
You betcha there is. But see, I'm just saying, what they found might have been what our government wanted them to find to keep them away from what's real further outward or something.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't see that being what we all think it is. I mean, granted, it's huge because they took measurements and with Google Earth and all that. But I still say the government placed that there to keep us away from what's really happening not too far from there.
Well, we'll find out because Jimmy Church says that they're gonna.
Cool. I hope so.
They're
That
gonna
would be
send
awesome.
some of those ROVs down there.
That would be bitching.
I would love to see.
I
it
hope they
too.
do it, I hope they prove me wrong. Say, Jeff, you're smoking the crack. We did find it. And I would say, yes, good job, good investigating. I really want you guys to go down there and prove me wrong. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just hope that you guys don't get killed in the process of doing it, if that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So be careful.
All of a sudden, your boat sinks.
Yeah, or so.
Like I was talking to Heidi Hollis. You know how we had the storm on Halloween?
Right.
They were having one where she lives over by Chicago.
Are we still on? Oh my gosh, we're still on.
And she was on Lake Michigan, and she said that they had a Halloween boat, party boat.
Oh,
thing,
that's cool.
And it sunk. It was like 20-foot waves on Lake Michigan.
That's crazy.
On Halloween night.
That stinks.
Yeah, it really sucked there. For them.
Okay, so we're uncovering some crazy. Oh, this is what I wanted to tell you guys. All right, when the crew came down, I think it was like on a Monday, something like that. I think.
Can't remember.
Yeah,
they
it was
kept
a long
me
time.
awake for days.
Shane was down here like 3 days prior, and then all of a sudden they got here like on Monday. What are the odds, you guys, that on Monday night, Hugh Hauser, okay, like you just said, talked about Hugh Hauser, right? Hugh Hauser actually did an episode on these tunnels 10 years ago. What are the odds that they would replay Hugh Hauser's tunnel episode this first day Chasing UFOs is here to film? It happened.
That's true. That's not a coincidence.
Okay, that, I'm sorry, was not a coincidence, you guys. All right, that actually happened because I was on the front of the TV and I was switching channels and I just happened to see the tunnels and I went, what the beep? And I called Cheryl over and I said, look. And she looked at me and is like, no effing way. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? They played that episode the first day Chasing UFOs was here in Fresno. All right?
Shoot tunnels.
To shoot tunnels. And so they decided to play that, and they showed everything. Hugh Hauser driving in there. Look, it's all just, electrical power, generators using water to make electricity. That's all it is, you guys. Look. And then they take you into all of the restaurants up there where they show the people who made them. Oh, yeah, I was there when we built these. It's all, for the hydroelectric power source. That's all it is. And we're going to play it on the same day the National Geographic arrives in Fresno, California. No, that was planned. that was planned. And see, I'm observant just like us here, and we're catching all this. Like this ABC, bull crap that they're going to send a news crew out there, and they're going to get this tractor to start digging, and all of a sudden find, I'm sorry, but this is just funny. What do you think we are, idiots? No, we're not. We're catching on to you guys, all right? We're catching on. There's no coincidences in what we do. Sorry, all right? Man, I love this stuff.
You can tell. You can't even sit still.
Man, I mean, because I'm busting them left and right, dude. Yeah. I'm busting them.
That one was a total setup.
Oh my God, the whole PBS, Hugh Hauser playing on the same day chasing UFOs around. Come on, really?
I even caught that. I mean,
you were in the hotel. No,
I was home. I actually was home, and there was Hugh Hauser, and I was like, what? Because I couldn't believe it either.
Oh my God, that was funny. Oh, gee Louise.
But those guys, I have a lot of respect. I mean, even though the shows set up a lot of stuff, they work hard, man. We were out from 5 in the morning until 1 in the morning every day.
This is cool stuff. You know what? Let me see what else I got on my iPhone so I can show you guys. You guys want to see more? Sorry, guys. This is just, I'm having too much fun. Okay, let me pull up.
Asking to get in trouble.
Yeah, I know. Let me see.
Especially when he starts digging in his phone files.
Your phone's going to crash. Watch. One of these days, everything's gone.
I got it backed up.
Sure.
I got it backed up.
Yeah, we did.
That's going to crash too.
Let me see. What else? What else cool stuff can I show you guys right now? Blow you all away. Yeah.
You know that when... Okay, now, chasing UFOs came, and the fence came up, right? Around the tunnel.
Right.
And then Finding Bigfoot came, and we did a thing at our Bigfoot research place. And the next time we went up there, the fence and the gate was up.
All right. You guys, where we go, it's middle of nowhere.
Right.
It's not a campground. You guys have to take a dirt road after dirt road after dirt road. Ask Emerald. She got car sick on the way over there.
Oh, jeez. That was not my fault, okay? My mom threw me in like 10 sweaters, some Under Armour, jeans, sweats. It was not my fault.
Yeah, but it's a nasty road.
Nasty ride over there.
Yeah, I got so sick.
Okay, so... Like I wasn't there. Alan was there with Finding Bigfoot all this time, out in the snow, freezing his what off. They were filming the episode for Finding Bigfoot
until 3 in the morning.
And you guys had a forest ranger with you,
right? Yeah.
Right, 24/7.
Right.
Whatever you guys did, there was somebody with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So after they leave, it was like a couple of weeks. We went back up, right?
Yeah.
When we got there, they put up the steel barricades around the entrance of these 3 dirt roads, that led us into the area.
With steel gates, all chained and locked.
So it's like they actually cemented in poles around the edges, so you couldn't even take a 4x4 and try to get across around those gates. They spent a lot of money doing that.
Heck yeah, that's pole. It was steel pole fencing.
I wish I'd
for like 200
pictures.
yards.
I'm pretty sure I took pictures.
Either way,
right
from the gates, and you can't take a 4-wheel drive around it because, like where they ended the fence is like a drop off, that you can't drive down, and it was like, oh my God,
are you kidding me?
Just because we came down here with Finding Bigfoot, now they're doing that.
No, it's because we know the Bigfoots are there and they want to keep us out, you guys. Simple as that. There it is.
Now they're trying to close the whole forest.
Oh, absolutely.
In fact, there's a meeting coming up and I will be there.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, they're doing another one?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's November 6th.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm going to be there.
Where at?
Same place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm going to go and I'm fighting for the disabled. Because they said that they can allow permits. Like they want to close off they want to make it wilderness, and the only place you could go is the state parks and national parks. All the rest of it's going to be wilderness, no wheeled vehicles, no anything, just only hiking with your feet. I can't hike.
No.
So what are they going to let me take my, a chair or a scooter or a little dirt bike or something? No wheels. That's what they told me. So that's like not fair.
We'll get you a hoverboard.
Oh man, if they had one,
I want one.
If they had one, what are those ones that they with two wheels? What are they called?
Segways.
There you go.
Segway. I want a 2-wheel drive Segway, like Trail Master kind.
That would be bad.
Yeah, I asked them about that. No wheels. And so I'm going to fight them because that's not fair.
Right. That's discrimination.
That means you guys could go and hike on, and I have to stay at the gate. Mm-hmm. Forget that. That ain't happening. I'm going to be in there fighting.
Get him.
I will.
Oh, okay, you know what? I'm looking at my...
Run him over with my power chair.
I'm looking...
Hover around.
I'll go riding through there, tearing the place up.
I have them.
Oh, yeah, put them up.
You want to put
That's
that one
cool,
up?
yeah.
Oh, crapola.
It's like kids in a
need
candy
to send
store.
those to...
What I'm going to show you guys are the orange light that he is talking about that went over Fresno, California that many people saw.
Many people. Hundreds.
Many.
Even my own nephew
even
took pictures.
Kylie. Jeez Louise, Jeff.
Kaylee.
Kaylee, the guitar player for Possessed Tranquility, they saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys the picture right now of those orange
hoverboard. I want one.
All right, here we go.
I'll give everybody rides.
Let's hope I don't get knocked off again. Go there. Oh, now let me get you. No, I'm on camera, so we're okay this time. But you already know my password, so it doesn't matter. Everybody's probably sending me nasty pictures right now.
I don't think they really seen your password. It just came out little dots, but
well, that's all it was. Yeah, it's camouflage.
Yeah. But we all saw the inside of your AOL.
Like really nothing exciting. So
we seen that one from the the scientist saying, "You tell him, Jeff, lead them all astray." No, I'm just kidding.
What? Oh shit! I know you hate silence, but I'm getting into my email again so I can show you this particular photograph that was given to us that was taken. Actually, this was over the Fresno airport.
Right.
Okay, now this was. Let me show you this, guys. This was going over the Fresno airport, and that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to have UFOs fly over airports or whatever it was. All right, I'm going to show you it right now.
Yeah, my nephew sent me like 3 pictures of it. And he said there was hundreds of these orange orbs. Hundreds. Everybody that I talked to said the same thing. Like, somebody told me they talked to the police and they said it was Chinese lanterns. And then she said, how did they get hundreds of them up there? And then they go and zip away. Did Chinese lanterns
somebody was telling me that they were moving in groups and then they would stop and then hover and then move and then swarm and just do that kind of stuff, right?
And zip away, like totally like.
Yeah, lanterns don't do that.
No,
lanterns on crack.
They burn out in like a few minutes too. And these people were watching them for 20-something minutes.
Okay, here it is. I'm gonna
near the airport.
Actually, it went over the airport, I think. Check it out, guys. I know this is going to be kind of hard to see. Well, hopefully not. I'm going to look at...
one of the ladies I talked to, her name was Kate. If you're listening, Kate, hi, Kate. She was telling me that they were coming from Lemoore.
Ooh.
That the direction they were coming from was Lemoore, and they were coming this way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Huh?
We have a base out in Lemoore.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Lemoore Naval Air Base. Mm-hmm.
But she was saying that's where they thought they were coming from. They're coming from the direction of Lemoore, and they were coming right for the airport here.
See, but you guys have to understand that the wind current comes from the northwest. Like from San Francisco, it comes this way towards Fresno. So that's how we know if the rain is going to be coming towards us. If San Francisco is getting wet, then we're going to get it a couple hours later. But Lemoore is south of us. The wind current does not do that.
And usually, if it rains, I mean, it doesn't rain over there if it's raining here. I mean, they miss it.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. I'm showing you guys. Hope you guys can see that. But there you go. I have many pictures of that right there. But, you can mistakenly possibly think that, these look like Chinese lanterns, but the maneuvering that these things were doing does not correspond to a Chinese lantern. Sorry, it doesn't. They don't go in, 6 groups or groups of 10 and go together and stop and then move again and stop. That's what these things are doing. So you tell me what they were.
Well, this Kate, if you're out there, hi Kate. She was telling me that they watched them for over 20 minutes.
Okay.
And when they called the police, some of them, like 2 or 3 of them, would take off like going south real fast and just jam off, And some of them would just jet straight up,
right?
And
see
be
that
gone.
Sorry, not Chinese lanterns.
But
I don't care what you think.
She was saying that she was asking me how many people saw it, sent pictures in, and how come she actually was Googling it, and why isn't there more pictures? And I told her, well, we got the report from several people, and we got pictures.
Right.
And if I ever see her again, I'll have her share the picture she got.
Well, there you go.
She said she was right under them.
Wow.
And she has really good pictures. But I had to go. I was in a hurry. I was actually standing in line at a pharmacy when I ran into her.
Getting drugs.
Yep. Wasn't my drugs, though.
So, okay, hey, you know what? It's an hour and a half.
Whoa. No way.
Yeah, way. So we got, we're at halfway done with our show, you guys.
They were Mexican lanterns. That's what they were.
No, Mexican lanterns, because they were probably all high on weed and they were moving crazy. Is that it? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
They had beer.
Yeah, I resemble that remark. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break here, you guys, and we're going to allow you guys to, able to get up and go to the bathroom and go get the drink or something to eat. So we're just going to play you some music really quick, and I'm just going to put a picture up on the screen. And I'm going to let a song go from Possessed Tranquility. How's that? Yeah, that's a ticket. Let me get Possessed Tranquility queued up here, guys.
If Possessed Tranquility's listening, you guys rock.
So, and you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the whole song for the Unexplained. This is the album version, and hope you guys like it. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to loop it. And
I put links on the YouTube channel and on our website. You guys can go and buy this album. They would love it if you did. I think the album's so cool. I love this song.
All right, you guys. We're going to be gone for about 4 to 5 minutes. Enjoy the music, and we'll be right back.
Looking for you, you're
And we are back. Did you miss us? Probably not. And if is the Ito on there right now? I just want to make Ito squirm a little bit. I'm going to show you my jacket, Ito. Check this out.
You can't see it. Turn more.
Now can you see it?
Yeah. Yep.
X-Files, the movie jacket. That's right. Eat your heart out. I know X-Files is Ito's a big X-Files fan like I am. So that's why I started this, because of X-Files. All right, we are back.
And Ito says he wants it.
Tough. How much money
Sell
you
it
got?
to you, $1.99.
Shut up.
No.
$2.98.
I would buy it.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
I'll sell you a picture of it.
Huh?
All right, here we go. All right, we're going to continue on. We have another hour and a half to go, and it's probably going to go by really quick because we still have some stuff to talk about. You know what? You could probably get some callers in, maybe, too. What do you think?
That would be cool, huh?
Yeah, let's get some callers in at the very end. I mean, not the very end, but, we'll allow some time in there.
Making me do work now.
That dang straight. All right. I'm going to show you a picture here real quick. Actually, the Fox Network here in Fresno posted it from somebody here in Fresno who got a photograph. It was taking a picture out in the boonies, the countryside, and the person said, "Look, I got a UFO." And this is what they took a picture of. All right, and we get photographs like this all the time. I wasn't there, so I don't know where this person was. And what I mean by that is, was the person standing on the outside of the car, or was the person sitting inside the car and took the picture through the windows?
I think it was through the window.
That's what I'm thinking too. I am thinking that UFO this person thought she or he got is just a bug splat on the windshield or side window. And I think that's all this is. Okay.
Well, I downloaded it on the computer, and then I blew it all up. And when you look at the pixels, the pixels make it look darker than everything else in the background. Is all lighter pixels, so that means it's closer to you.
Oh.
So it had to be like right near the windshield or closer to the camera.
Okay, well that would make sense. And that's all it is, guys. It's not an unidentified flying object. We can tell nowadays. We can actually tell because we get a lot of photographs. We do.
Man, we do.
We get a lot of photographs. So I'm going to say we debunked this, and it was not a UFO, but a poor dead bug on the window.
There was one. Do you remember the one? And everybody was saying it was Jesus, and it was actually Google Earth.
Google Earth.
And the guy was driving down the road, and it showed it looked like Jesus, like up in the sky, right? And then I did the same thing. I took a screenshot of it, and then I downloaded it to the computer, and then I was zooming in on it, and you know what it was? It was a bug splatter on the mirror, because they have this weird camera, and it has like a mirror that makes a 360. So there was this bug splatter, and then what I did was I followed the Google Earth down the road into a tunnel, and that bug splatter for like miles, that bug splatter was in the same spot. So that's how I knew it wasn't. They were saying it was just in one spot, but I followed that thing for miles, and that bug splat was on that mirror for a long time. It was a bug splat, not a Jesus.
There you go.
So if you're out looking, if that comes up again on Facebook, you already know it was a bug splatter. You could debunk it and make yourself look like you're really smart. Tell all your friends, nah, man, that's a bug splatter.
Was it? Okay, never mind. All right. For some reason, the name Wolf Manor came up.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, in Fresno, we have, from what I understand, one of the haunted locations in the West Coast, from what I understand. And it's the Wolf Manor in Clovis, California, which is in Fresno.
Well, all the big, giant cable ghost shows went to it.
Ghost Hunters first, and then Ghost Adventures next, and then a couple of other ones that were small potatoes, but still you saw them on cable TV. And for all those who remember the one with Jason and Grant, where at the very beginning of that episode, they interviewed several people on incidences that occurred prior to their arrival, like in the past years, right? Well, Wolf Manor used to be a sanitarium way back in the days, all right? And there used to be more of it in the back, but it was moved, actually, to a location because of asbestos that it had in there, okay? So they had to get rid of it and move it out of the way, and they did. So they left the front portion of it, the house part.
And that has asbestos.
And that has asbestos still. So for some reason, the Clovis City Council does not want that here in Clovis, California anymore. And they pretty much instructed Todd Wolf that if you want to keep it, you have to bring it up to code. And that's really involving a lot. And we're talking in a lot of money. All right? We're talking
how much
a lot of money.
Asbestos removal costs?
Right. So obviously, Todd Wolf doesn't have the financial backing to do what he wants to do with it, and he wanted to make it a bed and breakfast. And a lot of people know this place. This place is well known throughout, I want to say, the world, because a lot of people have seen it on TV. Granted, he has done a good job promoting it as a very haunted location. And the reason why I want to talk about it is, at the very beginning, where they were interviewing Todd Wolf and interviewing stuff that has happened in the past, and one of them is that the Clovis Police Department at one point in time in the back past received 911 calls from the actual building. But Todd Wolf says that no way it can't be, because there is no phone lines inside the building per se. There's no phone systems, nothing. Well, being that I work for AT&T, okay, I'm going to give you a theory that I think happened that is the reason why the Clovis Police Department received the 911 calls, because it has happened to me before out doing service calls, and I want to tell you what happened. Prior to him, well, what they used to have there, they used to have a haunted house there at that location when they had the back portions, all right? And obviously back then they had to have phone lines because they were running a business, the haunted house and all that. So they had to have phone lines and all that kind of stuff. Now, right in front of that building on the sidewalk, if you're looking at the house, if you're standing on Clovis Avenue looking right at it, if you look over to the right on the sidewalk, there are a couple of big boxes right there. Those are phone line boxes. Those are called B boxes. We call them B boxes. And what happens is from Clovis and Pulaski, actually Pulaski and Shaw Avenue is the central office where all the Clovis people phone lines come from. And then what they do is they go down the street and they come up to a box located on a block someplace. And then from that box, it goes out to the houses. And this is throughout the United States. This is the way it works, all right? So every house has their own set of wires, a pair of wires, 2 wires, every single house. So we're talking, there are literally thousands and thousands of pairs of wires going all around the city, all from pole to pole underground. Every single house has a set of wires. So each box, for example, the one right next to the Wolf Manor, there is a box that contains probably 600 phone lines that runs for the next 10 blocks. All right? So, now check it out. What happens if a car hits that box? 600 people are going to be out of service. And it's a lot of money to replace that too. So now, that box happens to be right next to the Wolf Manor. Okay. This is what happens, and this is what happens to anybody. Let's say you have a phone line and you decide to turn off that phone line for some unknown reason. Let's say you just want to turn it off. By law, the phone company that you are in contract with or using, whether it's AT&T, Verizon, MCI, whatever, they cannot give your phone number to anybody for 5 or 6 months. By law, they have to keep it on reserve in case you come back and want that number again. All right. So that phone number is still at that box, sitting there doing absolutely nothing. But that number is still maybe hooked up to the cable that goes into the house, and it might just be sitting there on a pair of wires just in the wind. Okay. If the wires, even if your number is been disconnected, there's still dial tone there. See what I'm saying? So if the 2 wires happen to be dangling and happen to touch and short out really quick, it will initiate a 911. Just like that, just initiate a 911. They might get it on the screen at the police department, but nobody will be at the other end. It'll just be 911. All right. That has happened to me working on the side of a house where I'll be putting my what's called a butt set, but it's a handset on the clipping, and all of a sudden I would clip it too fast, and all of a sudden 10 minutes later a police car will pull up in front. We got a 911 call here. I'm all, son of a, no, sorry, it's me by accident. I did it by accident, and it's happened a couple of times, actually in Clovis of all places. So what I think happened here is probably, because we don't know the time when this occurred, I'm thinking it probably happened after one of their haunted houses, and they didn't have any phones plugged in or anything, but the wire that it's coming from the central office at Pulaski and Shaw going to that box, if underground, if those 2 wires happen to short out or do something funky, it will send a 911 call by accident. But what I'm thinking is that the cable going from that box to the actual building. It was probably cut, and it was probably just there in the wind, and it touched really quick together like this and initiated a 911 call. And that's probably what happened.
Or a ghost grabbed the wires and went,
no,
911, 911.
Or a ghost was in there with the phone and plugged it in and decided to goof around. And that's what happened. So you got two theories here. A ghost did it, or my theory. And I'm thinking I'm going to go with my theory on the whole ghost, not the ghost thing, but an accidental 911 initiating with the wires. Because, again, for 6 months, that phone number is still there. You have dial tone, but if you were to get a telephone and plug it in and dial it, it would go doo-doo-doo. You're sorry, this phone has been temporarily disconnected. Right. That's what you would
get. But
you
could still dial 911.
You could still dial 911.
And that's why they have to leave it.
Exactly.
So if there's an emergency, like say you have your phone cut off, and you know, some murderer comes in your house, you could still dial 911 on that on your disconnected phone.
Oops, sorry.
That's why they leave it like that.
Yeah. So that particular incident, I'm going to say I debunked. I'm sorry to really tick you guys off by doing that, but you have to understand, I believe in the stuff that we do here, but if I see something that doesn't sound right to me, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in and I'm going to say, wait a minute, guys. I think this is how it happened and this is what's going on. Now, is there a ghost in that building? There could be, but I'm going to say that incident that happened with the phone lines, it was just one of those accidents with the wires. That's all.
It just makes better ghost stories coming from there.
So, you know, but they say there's a little girl that has been up there. Was it Mary, I believe her name is, I think? I'm not sure, because they have never allowed me to go in there. Right. I wonder why. But I've tried, guys. I have tried many times to get in there, and they did not allow me there, saying their excuse was Clovis put a stop to letting people in. But this was like 4 years ago, right? I mean,
yeah,
Emerald, they've been trying. It was a long time ago that I've been trying. And
I think, like, they stopped letting people in after that one episode they had on it where everybody was like, oh, that whatever that ghost said. I think I like the one in the hat. Yeah, everybody was like, oh, that's so BS, and it was overplayed.
It was that was just way too loud. I like the one in the hat.
It was just.
I mean, come on, really, guys? Oh. And
I think he messed up because they were doing the tours for Halloween, so he would set stuff up in there, and it's just like, why would you?
Well, maybe it wasn't Todd Wolf, and it was actually them, because
TV guys.
It was if you, you know, was it?
Well, you have to sign a contract. If the ratings go down, you have to fake stuff.
Well, yeah, and you know, Grant.
Just like, did you ever see the American Idol one, where the girl was singing, and then right in the middle of her song, something went, right? I mean, and my wife was like, "What was that?" But you know, now you can roll it back.
The devil.
It sounded like it, but I mean, you could roll it back now. You know what I mean? Like live programming, you can roll it back. And I kept rolling it back and listening to it over. I'm like, wow, that. And I think it was done for ratings too.
So they meant to do it on purpose.
You know, even though it sounded like some kind of demon, you know, doing it, I think they did it to get ratings.
Wow.
You know, like
I don't
now everybody is going to go and watch this show just so they could hear that thing.
Well, a lot of the ghost shows under contract, if rating gets really low, if they have nothing to show, they have to fake
they have
some
to fake stuff. You know, it's the way.
Well,
it's just the way
like
it goes. It's a reality show, guys.
Yeah. Well, there's one episode, and I forgot exactly what show it was, but this was so old, people still talk about it. You see this white figure, and if you zoom in, you see the sneakers.
Yeah. That was Taps.
Yeah.
It was in the jail. In the jail prison, it would go, and it would come back
you
like
could see the sneakers.
Yes. Did you know I had, before your time, I had the one girl from Ghost Hunters, the redhead.
Oh, really?
I had her on my show. Because she left, because the reason why is they were faking a lot of stuff. So she left, and I got her, and I got her on the phone, and I talked to her on my show. 5 years ago, guys.
Like Blog Talk, right?
Forever.
No, it was live stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's probably still on the old one if you can find it.
Yeah, well, you know, we've done like 3 cable shows, right? Reality TV shows, and I worked with 2 of them. You know, worked for them,
right.
not was. I mean, I was on it, but behind the scenes, I was working. You learn right away when you're working for them. These things, they can't make something happen every week.
No.
I mean, you know, just by odds, things aren't going to happen every week. They're just not. So they got to make something happen every week. Right. I mean,
it's
like
just
finding Bigfoot, something has to growl or scream or wood knock or something. Otherwise, nobody's going to tune in next week.
We've done investigations where we get absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
We got lucky.
There is no way you can go into a house, set up all your cameras, and expect to get something one night. It ain't going to happen.
No.
It ain't going to happen. I mean, you have to set up cameras and leave them there forever.
And still nothing might
happen.
Yeah.
But see, what sucks though is that, you know, you have to sit down. If you my DVR, if you get a week's worth of video on 6 cameras, you actually have to sit
for 6 weeks.
For 6? No. Did I say 6 weeks?
No. If you have 6 different cameras.
Oh, yeah. If you want to do individual each camera by themselves, then correct. That's 6 weeks. But sometimes you can get all 6 cameras on one screen, and then your eyes have to be just glued, and you have to, in real time, watch this, you know, for a whole week.
Well, even that, I mean, when we did the Sanger Herald,
Right.
you watched it, got nothing,
Right.
brought it over to my place, and my mom's like, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, that's right.
"Oh,
Yeah. That was cool. That was
So
cool.
I mean, and you may not get something on it the first, the second. It
Right.
may not happen until like the 5th or 6th time where you're going back through the footage.
You might need another pair of eyes to get something that you didn't get. So, you know, it's to really sit down and to go through all that footage, just, oh my God.
It's work.
It pains.
Well, on taps, it shows them do it in a few hours.
Yeah,
right.
nothing.
They're like,
so they probably fast forward it, you know what I'm saying?
but only I've sat in my living room, I don't know how many times for a week. I mean, going over the DVR for a week. And it's the same thing with the cameras that we have for like the Bigfoots up in the trees.
Right.
I mean, there's like sometimes, you know, 300 photographs per camera or more.
Right.
And you can't.
Where's Waldo?
Right, yeah, you know, and you can't just go clicking through them and
Right.
think you're going to see something. These things are like,
that's
hidden,
how
you know.
David Ragosa got that one picture in 2007 of the Bigfoot walking up the hill. And you guys all know about that one, right?
I mean, that one's like
Right.
way up in the corner of the picture,
Yeah.
only this big. I mean, it's a little bitty sucker. And
You guys want to see another picture of a Bigfoot or our picture of a Bigfoot? You guys, I mean, because there's a lot of you guys, probably thousands of you guys out there right now who have no idea what I'm talking about. And this is what I mean, is we're not sitting here in front of these microphones week after week. We go up to the mountains, spend the night, and we go into people's houses all night. This is what we do.
Yeah, we do.
And we happen to associate ourselves
real
with
fun, too.
people who have been doing this longer than we have. Example, David Ragosa. That's how we got involved. That's how I met this guy through one of his symposiums. You know, David Ragosa had it in, what was that? Remember?
I can't remember.
Was it Fat Albert's Pizza?
Yeah, in Hanford.
In Hanford?
Ooh, pizza.
See, you know, like David Ragosa, he was going at it like a science project.
Well,
You have to.
Well,
You know.
who is David Ragosa? I mean, what is his profession?
He's a principal.
He's a high school principal.
But with a science degree,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a biological science degree. I mean, and he might have been doing it for 20 years in his little spot, but he was doing it scientifically. I've been doing it ever since 1987, since I saw one. Well, minus 6 years that I wouldn't go in because it scared me so bad. But only I went back and I didn't cast tracks or I wasn't like doing it like a science project. I was actually looking to see one again. You know what I mean? Like I was going up there and arming myself to the teeth because they're so big and camping in the same area to try to see one again. And I found tracks. I never even thought to make a cast. But I would show my friends, I'm like, look at that cast, oh my God. And some of them would have, like on your hand, you have these little lines. Some of the tracks were in sand, and they were so fresh, you could still see the lines that they had in their feet. I can't remember, dermal ridges, I think they call it. And I would show my friends, but some of the tracks weren't huge. They were like...
Small.
They were small. And they had an arch. And then everybody's like, nah, that's some guy. That's somebody up here. Okay, it's October 27th.
Think about it, guys.
We're way like at 7,500 feet. We're at the end of a road that dead ends, and we walked a half a mile onto the top of this ridge where there's no road, right? And here's these tracks walking across the top of the ridge. Fresh. It's 7:30 in the morning, so that means it walked by 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 in the morning.
Dude, it was a person took off his sneakers and wanted to go barefoot.
And then was walking out away from the roads and into the wilderness barefooted. And we're all wearing coats and gloves and everything because it's cold,
Boots.
right? Yeah. And they're all like, oh, man, it was somebody. Okay, but now we learned, but what I learned from it is the juvenile Bigfoots have an arch. And I don't know how old they are, because I'm only looking at tracks, but they could be a size 10 or 11 foot, and it has an arch. Then you could follow it. Like the first time I ever found those kind of tracks with an arch on them, I followed it another 300 yards perfectly, and they're right in a straight line like this. They're not like walking like this. They walk like with their foot going right in front of the other one, straight like that, and sometimes like 3 or 4 feet between the track, right? So then it pairs up. All of a sudden, it pairs up with some tracks that were like 20 inches, long and real wide, like 8 inches wide, but it didn't have an arch. It was huge, but no arch. So the big daddy ones, they don't have an arch.
Maybe as they get older, their feet flatten out because of the extra weight.
I don't know. But I do know the young ones and the juvenile ones, their track, you can't tell the difference between a human and a Bigfoot. But once they get really big,
then you can tell.
You can tell the difference because you never seen anybody's feet that big.
It ain't Shaq.
Right. And the same what you were saying about Jeff Meldrum earlier, they're not faked because they step on things and break things, and you like their toes will dig in or they turn and there's like their foot gets into different shape and stuff. So it's not like somebody walking around with boarded feet, cut out feet. Plus, what are they doing up there anyways?
Yeah.
And like you could get shot. I mean, if you're right then is deer season usually, and you're out there walking around faking this stuff, you're gonna get your butt shot right quick.
Yeah, I mean, if you're up there with a Bigfoot costume, dude, and somebody's out there hunting for deer.
Some kid there, I was just reading today. Some kid was trying on his Bigfoot suit in Washington, and his neighbor shot him.
Oh.
I mean that's you can't. You'd be a fool to run around in the woods faking a Bigfoot. I'm serious.
I mean, I would not do it. No, as a joke to even my camper friends who all carry. No,
carry.
No, so okay. I just got an email from a watcher. She's actually watching us right now. Her name is Becky. She wants to know where I got my X-Files jacket. Well, I got this sucker in L.A. when I was living up there.
Store.
It was probably in 1990, Becky, and it was in a.
It's older than I.
It was in a place where it was in a big warehouse where they come and sell, cards and comic books like a con, but it was like a swap meet for this type of stuff, and it was there, and I bought it for like $100.
Wow!
Back then, in 1990. So
I bet you could sell it for like 1,000.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's like totally legit because I mean it has everything embroidered, like what I'm saying. So, and I also have the director's chair in there that says X-Files on it too that I bought at the same place. I'll bring that out next time. That way you can. I want that. No. So all right. Now we were talking about Bigfoot. For all those, again, for those who are just tuning in, the past year probably still don't know of all the stuff that we've had in the past that we have in archives as far as pictures and videos.
You could go on our website and there's like the windows. We have the only thing I don't have is descriptions on everything because I mean I don't have time to do all that stuff.
Right.
But only the pictures are there, and you can watch Monsters and Mysteries, and it'll tell you all about it.
Right.
You know, and then you can look at the pictures and go, oh wow, that's what they're talking about.
Hey guys, we went over our 2 hours. So excited.
Wow, 207. Still got a lot to talk about too. I mean, it's still. I mean.
We're past the point of no return.
So, all right, now the Bigfoot, all you Bigfoot enthusiasts, why are we so involved in all of the stuff paranormal? Like I say, ghost, Bigfoot, UFOs.
If you're gonna do one, you might as well do them all.
That's right, damn it. You know,
it kind of goes together.
When I started this, I started in the ghost first. Then I went from ghosts to UFOs, and then UFOs to Bigfoot. I had no clue Bigfoot was 2 hours east of Fresno. No freaking clue, dude. Well, I mean, when I was growing up here, no clue until somebody told me, hey, did you know there is a person who's been investigating for over 25 years? He's the high school principal. His name is David Ragosa. Do you want his number? I said, you think? So put me in contact with David. David invited me over to his house to check me out, see if I was legit and if I was a killer or a creep. You know,
or really truly interested, because he's serious.
Yeah, he is.
You know?
And I told him, I went up there and, you know, I introduced myself, told him who I was, what I wanted to do, how this thing interests me, and he says, okay, well, it so happens it was right before Memorial Day, right? Wow, I just couldn't have, you know, got to him in a better time. And he says, well, we have an annual Memorial Day weekend trip. Do you want to go? I said, yeah. And I went. That night was, I want to say, an eventful night. It was a not eventful. Every Memorial Day weekend, and Alan can attest to this, that it's something always happens.
Weird because, like, when I met you guys, I met you first, and then David Ragosa was right before Memorial Day.
Right.
And then we went, you know, like, you want to go on Memorial Day? Like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, I went, you know, David invited me, went up with some of his friends. That, you know, weekend, we set up some trail cameras. You know, I went with David. He mounted them. I watched them because it was my first time with all this. This is like 2007, 7 years ago. And you know, a couple of nights we were there. We heard some howling, some things walking across around the campsite. I thought, really, guys, you guys are pulling a fast one on me. This is no way these are Bigfoots. I saw them. They were scared shitless. They were so scared. They moved their chairs closer to the fire. They held their weapons close to them. And I'm looking at them, and I'm going, I've never seen grown men just pucker up their cheeks like this. And I'm going, no, there's no way. So
everybody's eyes go.
So I heard something that night, or those 2 nights, that really just blew me away. And it was just one of those experiences, and it hasn't been. That's not the only time this has ever happened with David. No. So went home. Several months later, he calls me, or a month later, several months later, he goes, Jeff, hey, you want to go with me to go get the SD cards from the cameras? And I said, yeah. So it was just David and I. We go up in his Jeep. He picks me up. We go up, and we go to all of the cameras that he had placed that day, Memorial Day weekend. I took my laptop computer, and each SD card, I threw it in my laptop, and I downloaded all of them, and he went through them really quick there. You know, boom, 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 boom. Okay, you know, we got bear and deer, and the pictures were left on my laptop computer, and he took the SD card and put a new one in and took it home, and it was like 2 or 3 of them, the same camera, 3 cameras, 3 SD cards. I had all the pictures on my laptop, though. So we go home. That night, I was watching 2.5 Men with my wife, and I remember it just like yesterday. I get a phone call on my cell phone. He goes, "It's David." I go, "Hey." He goes, "Jeff." He goes, "You still have those pictures on your laptop?" And I go, "Yeah." Why don't you turn on your laptop and pull up those pictures? And I said, "Okay." So I put up the laptop and turned it on, got those pictures. He says, "All right, go to number 57 or 53, one of those." And I went to it, and this is what I see.
See, now when I met you guys were still fighting on the internet about this. People were saying, "That's not a Bigfoot," you know, and all that.
Okay.
But
so he pretty much said, "Pull it up," and I'm looking at the picture, right? And I'm looking at it right now, and I'm going, "Okay, I see the picture. Yeah, what?" And he goes, "Look at the top left-hand corner." And I'm looking at it, and I'm all, "What the beep is that?" And I'm looking at it, and I call Cheryl, and I go, "Cheryl, look." And I'm looking at it, and I'm going, "No." This the distance from the camera to that object is about 75 yards. Yeah, about 75 yards. Okay.
See, and that says 2009 on the.
Actually, that's wrong. It's 2007.
Right.
Okay, that's wrong. And so I zoomed in on it, and this is what came up. All right. And I'm going, "No way." And I'm looking at this, guys, and I'm just dumbfounded. I'm speechless. I think I peed in my pants right there and then. Swear. I went, "What? What?" And I'm going, "No way. Impossible. No, there's no way." And I was screaming. I was just jumping up and down, and David was on the other side. And I said, "No way, David." And he goes, "Look." And it blew me away. I was just floored. And I told David, I go, "No way." And I said, "We got to go back and see if this object is still there. And I'm going to take my team. We're going to go, and we're going to debunk this picture." I grabbed Emerald. I grabbed my wife, Cheryl. It was David. Who else went? Do you remember?
It wasn't that many of us.
It was just a couple of us. And I think it was one of David's friends too, maybe. Because I remember it was more than just us three.
You know what? I think he did have somebody with him.
I think it was his friend from. It was one of his buddies at that work.
No, maybe not, because we all fit in the car.
It was his Jeep. We went in his Jeep. So it might have been just us four then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I stayed with Cheryl, and then you stayed with
David. Okay. Well, we went back, guys, and
can you guys see its fingers? On its hand, can you see the fingers?
Okay,
on
I'm going to zoom in on those.
I'm telling you,
hold on.
That's some big old mitts right there on that one.
Okay.
That ain't no bear. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I just zoomed in on the hands, but you can see the digits right there. You can actually. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me move this up here. You can actually see the chin and possible nose. All right. Now, see, I have the pictures. Grab it. Shall I send them in? Okay. Well, okay. We went back. All right. So, anyways, let me. You guys are seeing that right now, right? I mean, yes. This is the honest to God truth. If you put a Bible in front of me, I would swear up and down, and Emerald too. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to show you another picture.
That's a huge Bigfoot right there.
Okay.
It's not a little baby.
I had my friend at the time back in the day who was doing my web. What the hell is that? Sirens?
Yeah.
Oh. Who was doing my website. I told him, "Can you please fix the color on this?"
Slender Man's moaning.
Okay. So here is on the top left-hand corner is the original picture and the color. So what my buddy did is he color corrected it. And he went from this to this to this. And here it is. Now, you guys, that's a Bigfoot. That is not a bear, and that is not a person in a suit.
And it's not leaning on the tree.
No. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, you guys are going to have to stand by. I'm going to go ahead and put some more pictures up. We went back. I took Emerald, my wife Cheryl, and I went and I stood in exactly the same place where this object was. And what I'm going to do right now is I have to download some more pictures and send them to my email. So that's the way I have to do it. Because I wasn't planning on showing you guys this again, but I'm going to do it because I know you guys love this stuff, and we have time to do it. So I'm going to show it to you guys. I remember we were on, and I'm going to say it right now because I hope Art Bell doesn't get mad, but we were on, David and I were on Coast to Coast because of this photograph. And that night, and I have proof, I had 67,000 people go to my website that night because of this picture.
I remember
Crashed
that.
your website.
I remember that.
You remember that? I actually saved the paper. I went 67,000 people went to my website that night to look at these photographs because we were on with, back then, George Norrie and Coast to Coast.
It was George Norrie.
It was George Norrie, yeah.
But you didn't hear me say that.
But that's how many people went that actually took the time to go out to go look at these photographs. It was unfreaking believable. So, okay, so we went back and I said, people, okay, this is what happened. I said to David, will you please allow me to put this on my website? And he says, dude, you're gonna get slammed. Mm-hmm. And I said, what do you mean? That's a Bigfoot. I go, you know that, I know that, you're going to get slammed. And I had no idea what he meant by that. I had no freaking idea what he meant by that.
Yeah, but it's not leaning on the tree.
Oh, no.
It's
Okay,
between
okay.
trees.
Yes,
Really.
let me show you. Okay, because people are saying that in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to stand by, you guys. I am going to...
Well, even at that angle, I don't think you could lean on that tree.
Well, actually, part of him you can't even see because he's behind the tree.
Right.
I mean, that thing's big. You can't see his butt.
Imagine, yeah, you know, if you're looking the way we are looking at the camera angle, right, you think that the object is on a tree or leaning against a tree. But if you were to move and walk all the way in front of that Bigfoot, then you're going to notice something. And let me show you what I mean by that. I have to download 2 more pictures, guys. Stand by.
You look so short when you were standing next to that thing, too.
Okay. And I was expecting to be I knew it wasn't a tree because I could see the fur. I could see the digits, all right? When I placed it on my Facebook, was it Facebook wall? No, it was on my website, and I put it out there. I think it was Facebook. People were slamming me big time saying it was a tree and it was a bear. But most of them were saying it was a tree. And these were Bigfoot investigators that are saying it was a tree. And I thought to myself, how can you say that is a tree? And I'm going, I would believe it more to be a bear than a tree. Well, they're looking at it and they're saying there's no way that could be a bear. It's an illusion of some type. Okay. And I just looking at them and I was going after all these people. As a matter of fact, like Joe Walls and all those guys were going, get him, Jeff. Get him, Jeff. Because what happens in this, and I don't want to say business, but in this, what we do is people will post a picture or a video and people will rag on them forever, and the person who put up this picture will keep their mouth shut and let them do it, right? And people were calling me a hoaxer, were calling me a liar, were calling David a liar, a hoaxer, it's a tree, it's a guy in a suit, and I was pissed off, and I was going to every single comment and from everywhere, and I was just letting them have it, giving them the rebuttal to their comment, to their theory, and I was shutting them down, and people didn't like it. People hated me. Oh man, they hated me. But people were saying, good for you, Jeff, go get him. And I would say, yeah, because how dare you call me a faker, a hoaxer, and I was ticked because
you know that hasn't changed. It's actually got worse. Like right now, we were talking about Todd Standing.
Right. I
mean, there really isn't anything to call him a hoaxer on, really. I mean, there's no real proof that he hoaxed any of that. But only, man, everybody is out to bash him like crazy. Now, Rick Dyer, that guy is a hoaxer. I mean, he just came up with a Bigfoot in under a tarp. And then this other guy, funny. Tim Fasano in Florida, he finds a Bigfoot and puts it under a tarp, right? But he says he's going to show a video. He's going to show a video at 5 p.m. to show everybody, the whole world, and he doesn't want money or nothing. So I tuned in.
What happened? I missed that.
And here he is. You know, I didn't have the sound on because it was my wife gets mad at me when I turn the sound on. But I'm watching it, and he's, you know, he's looking very serious and everything, and he said the arm came up, and they were trying, you know, well, all of a sudden this guy pulls the tarp over, you know, and climbs out of the tarp. And they did it to show that anybody could hoax anything under a tarp, right? And they're calling Rick Dyer, you know, what he is, a hoaxer.
Right.
I mean, how many times? This will be the third time Rick Dyer got a Bigfoot and was running around saying it's a Bigfoot, but never let anybody see it.
Right.
You know, like, are we going to fall for it this time? No.
Okay. So we go back and to the exactly, I mean, it took a while to get to the exact same spot and to get the camera angled, all that kind of stuff. And we finally did it. And here is me standing in the spot where that object was standing. Now, granted, this is not exactly the spot where the camera is. Actually, I don't know if it's Emerald or my wife was standing here when they took this particular picture. Now, let me show you another picture. And this is going to be, where is it at? This one. And I believe Emerald shot this one here. Okay. Here is me.
You guys found tracks too, didn't you?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I think what we got that day was the knocking.
Was it knocking?
Yeah, because I
knocking.
remember that was my first time hearing the knocking.
The knocking. And I'm deaf, so I didn't hear nothing.
Because I didn't believe. I was like, nah, you guys, whatever. I was like, you guys are funny.
You got to go with us again, man. They've roared at us.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
I want to go, but I get no invite.
No, we will. You will. Okay, now check it out. Now, when you guys were saying it was standing up against a tree, there's no way. This thing was walking up a hill. Okay, now I'm going to show you the picture again with the object. And remember the branches and the leaves that were blocking its face? These are it right here. Trust me when I say we made sure this was all exactly the way it happened, where this thing was and it was walking. It wasn't standing. It wasn't rubbing his ass on a tree. No, it wasn't a bear. It wasn't a person in a suit. Now, the head was right here where the arrow is at right now. This is where the head was, way up here. Why? How do we know that? Because these branches and leaves right here were blocking the head. This is how tall it was. I'm 6'2". This thing was probably 10, 11 foot. Right? And that's how it was walking. No, we didn't find any footprints here because all this is just brush, leaves, foliage. Yep, with needles and the whole 9 yards. This thing was walking up the hill here. And his head was up here where these branches were up here. All right? Again, people were saying it was a guy in a suit. Well, if it was a guy in a suit,
it was on stilts
it was on stilts or 10 foot. Now, let's talk about this. This is a place where no one goes. This is in the middle of nowhere. It's not a campsite. I mean, you can talk to Ellen. You can talk to Emerald.
Even if it, I mean, let's think about this. I was dying on the way up there. So, I mean, for somebody to take all that damn equipment with them, like the suit and stuff like that stuff's heavy.
Okay, but you have to understand, though, guys. Listen.
But if somebody was going to do it in a suit and they knew where the camera was, they would have got closer to the camera, you know, like, so that you would find it easier. That guy is so far off the picture that he was trying to avoid. He knew the camera was there, but he was skirting around to get away from the camera because they know. So the wind blew and it made a leaf set a camera off, right? Right. And that guy just happened to be way out there and it caught him.
Exactly happened.
And that's how the only way we catch them. Right. They even destroy the cameras. They grab them and destroy them, and the only way we can even get the pictures off is because they didn't destroy the SD card.
Right.
I mean, these guys are smart, man. They're not stupid.
Let's go with your theory that it was a person in a suit. You guys have to understand when we go there as campers. We don't go there with vans and 18-wheelers, and on the side it says Bigfoot investigators looking for Bigfoot. All right? We're going up there in 2 trucks, and we're camping, and that's all we're doing. So, and there is no one else out there. No. All right? Maybe once in a while you have a guy on a motorcycle, dirt biking, but otherwise nobody where we go. So what would be the chance that somebody was up there by himself, maybe a guy who was hunting, saw that and said, oh man, look, there's a camera. I'm going to go to my car and get my Bigfoot suit and put it on, and I'm going to walk 75 yards, and I'm going to walk up this hill hoping this camera is going to take a picture of me. Do you think that's going to happen?
I mean, and he's so far away, he couldn't even make that camera go off.
There's no way.
I mean, he's too far from the little
laser.
Yeah, the thing that sets it off, the motion sensor.
Right.
So there is no way that, he was way too far away from it. And we get bears and deers and bobcats and squirrels and sometimes people, they'll be hiking and you'll catch them, going through, and they have no idea there's a camera there. They're just walking by oblivious, every once in a while. But I've only seen, out of the last few years, I've maybe got 2 pictures of people, and they weren't looking at the camera. They had no idea at all.
No idea. Bigfoots are real, you guys.
Yeah.
They're absolutely 100% Bigfoot is real.
Yeah, see, now Danny said it was pot growers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I didn't put their picture up.
That's the only 3 people you get up there, okay?
That is.
Okay. But these pot growers are like 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
All right. This thing here was 10 to 11 feet tall. Simple as that. All right. David's camera got a Bigfoot. This, when I got this and I got given permission to put this on our website, I was a kid in a candy store. I was, oh my God, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. This is it.
We have some more that David took video of, and I took some stills and put up, and those are real too. But only, man, does everybody slam us for those? Yeah. But you know what? Hey, they're real. When does a gorilla?
You guys want to see those? Wait till next time.
No, they can go to our website and see it. ParanormalCentral.net.
Yeah, ParanormalCentral.net has all these photographs on there, guys.
Yeah,
all of them.
And the video clips of where I took the stills. I know it's only like 18 seconds of it, but these things don't stay in one spot. They'll freeze while you got the camera on, but as soon as you, like where David was, he was like not in a good place to take a picture. He wanted to get closer, maneuver his way to get a better shot of it. Soon as he moved, they were gone.
Right.
And you don't see him again at all. Once they know you're there and you got a camera, they don't come out. They will let you. They'll be all around you, and you'll hear them, but you don't see them again. They're ninjas.
Right. You got to go out there with the FLIR.
That's the way to get them.
Ooh,
well, I have now the FLIR for the iPhone. But when we went last time, we took the FLIR with us. It was nothing going on up there. It was so dry. Yeah. It was just unbearable for anything to be up there right now. There's a camper. It would be just dusty. It was just unbearable.
It was nasty.
Nasty. I
don't think there was any food.
Oh yeah, it was all dried out. Yeah, all the deer are just the food that Sasquatch eat. It's just they're gone to lower elevation where the water and the food is.
Well,
at.
When we pulled the little SD cards, we didn't even have animals on the pictures. And there was only like 30 or 40 pictures even.
Right.
We didn't have nothing.
So you guys, this is why we do this, because when you get a photograph like this, it tears your world apart, because monsters are only supposed to be on TV and on cartoons and on Scooby-Doo. All right? Scooby-Doo, that's where you find all your monsters. Not in real life. This is no way. No effing way. You guys, there's probably some people out there right now are going, absolutely no way. You guys hoax this. No, man. This is the real deal. This is why we do it. I'm getting a message here from Gable. I'm having a problem with the phone and the mail. the same form that you got. We'll talk about that later. No problem. So this is why we do it. Because the one photograph that we can get, something like this, will turn somebody's life apart. People who don't believe in this stuff, if you show them this, you will turn their life. they will be upset at you for doing this.
Well, they'll never believe it.
Never.
But I tell you, if you're in the woods and you're like with my thing, you're sitting there and then here comes a man, what you think is a man, walking, and then as it gets closer, you start realizing that's not a man. It moves like a man. It walks like a man. All of a sudden you realize it's huge. A huge man dressed in black or brown, and then you realize that's a Bigfoot. Your life changes forever after that. You don't go to the mountains and like you used to at all. Like before, you hike around oblivious, not worried about a thing. Now you're looking everywhere because you just saw something that changed your whole paradigm.
You didn't go to the forest or the woods or the mountains for how many years after that? 6 years. He was chicken. He was at home, did not go up to the mountain because what he saw scared the.
I lived in Yosemite. I grew up in the mountains where I saw that thing. We went for 20 years or more. You know what I mean?
As a kid, right?
Yeah, I grew up, even a baby. My parents would camp over there in that area, and I was a baby in a playpen. I don't even remember. And when I was 7 or 8, I used to follow the creeks up and down, fishing and everything. Wow. I never, but only see there was weird things that would happen, and you wouldn't know, like, man, that was weird. And it would scare you, and you would run back to the camp. Never knew what it was. When that thing revealed itself to me, I was like, oh my God. I knew what all those scary things were when I was growing up. I was like, oh my God, that's what it was. And then it took off running, and it ran, and when I went and found its tracks, they were 12 feet apart. 12 to 15 feet between footprints. That was it for me. I was gone. I didn't come back. It was like, my God, what could leave 15-foot prints,
Right.
And I was deer hunting, and I was looking for deer prints. I was following deer prints all over, and then here's these big old 22 freaking huge. I quit hunting. I don't even hunt anymore. I only look for Bigfoot.
That's it. Not the only reason why we go to the mountains now. It's just to go to that spot. But guess what, you guys? We've gotten reports of the Bigfoots down here on the valley floor. And it's come from credible people. And, we know when people are telling us lies and not telling the truth. There are things that happen when we are asleep. All right? I'm telling you guys right now. A lot of this paranormal stuff happens when we are asleep. When you're asleep, things go bump in the night. I mean, these creatures come out and they walk among people out who have ranches. We have things with long wings, Mothman things flying in Delray down on McCall Avenue that a lot of people witness, like he witnessed. Spirits and ghosts. Again, this stuff is not supposed to be real. I mean, it's stuff that I grew up watching on TV, and I just always wondered, what if? But we're getting photographs like this, guys. We're getting sounds recorded on audio from animals that are supposed to be in zoos that are up in the mountains screaming at us. That just doesn't make any sense. All right? So, our government know these things do exist. I can tell you that right now. Our military.
They took Rick Dyer's Bigfoot.
They seized it. Our government, our military know these things exist. Obviously, they know unidentified flying objects exist. Why? Because our jets here from Fresno chase them. All right, we've had many reports on it. We've had people witnesses. I have law enforcement coming to me telling me these things.
What about like that crash? Why did chasing UFOs come? Because there was a crash of a triangle, and by the time it hit the ground, how fast were the trucks and everything there?
I have to show you. God, there's so much that happened, in the past years that you guys, I have to, basically bring you guys up all to speed. I have video of when I got a call on my 24-hour hotline from a guy named Justin who said, Jeff, a triangle just crashed on the side of the hill where I live. I'm like, what? He goes, yes, it's on the side of the hill right now. And I'm going, okay, I'll be right there. I have shorts on, I grab all my electrical equipment, my video cameras, and I head on the freeway down to the location where this all happens. And I've got the video camera on my right hand. I've got the cell phone on my left hand, you guys, and I'm freaking driving down the 180 and with my knee. All right. And I remembered, because I showed this video and I put it on YouTube. It's still on YouTube, as a matter of fact. I had to bring all that, and we need to transfer all that over to this one.
Yeah, we do.
'Cause I even had the white vans. We need to transfer all that. People were saying that I hoaxed it because I had somebody else in the pickup who was videotaping all this with me. But they don't realize that it was me who was videotaping. Well, anyways, I was...
you were pulling a Lester out. He always has the camera on him. And he's holding it.
Oh, yeah. I was documenting this whole thing, guys. And that's one of the reasons. I documented a lot of stuff, and I got a lot of stuff on video of this triangle crash. I'm going to say it was ours. All right? It wasn't a UFO from Mars, or, it was one of our top secret, probably TR-3Bs that accidentally crashed on the side of the mountain north of Fresno. Because on my way down there, I had Justin on the phone. He says, dude, there are trucks and cars coming over the mountain and arriving at the spot where this thing is at, and they're leaving off people and they're going back. And I'm going, okay, well, they knew that their craft was heading and it crashed. Well, to make a long story short, I documented that event really good, really well, and James Fox heard about it, and that's one of the reasons why they came down to Fresno to basically on that incident. But when they were down here, we introduced them to a lot more stuff that was going on. So that's why they stayed for 8 days, and they had a field day. Trust me when I say that the people here in Fresno do not like Alan and myself right now, because
some of them do, only they can't.
They can't come out and...
they can't come out and say it. They want to be a part of it and everything, and they say, good job, but don't say my name.
Yeah. So, again, there's a lot of things that are going on here, and we're trying to... And again, I know there's a lot of people who just started with us even a year ago that I've been showing, people on here for 4 years ago that you guys have missed out on so much. Just like this Bigfoot, probably a lot of you guys had no idea that we had these photographs. No clue. Well,
that's kind of cool, because then we could go back.
Yeah, and
bring up old things
old
that
stuff.
we have.
Absolutely.
And it'll be new.
It'll be new to you guys. Yeah.
Especially like the windows and stuff like that. I know that's all over cable, but it's still...
There's a lot of people who probably don't even get cable who have no idea what we're talking about as far as the windows go.
Right.
And you guys, we're going to blow you away there. Why? Because we go investigating. We go up to the mountains. We go and camp when it's raining and thunderstorming, and we get dirty and cold and get sick and get cold and get wet. Why? So we can bring you stuff like this, man. Show me where other shows are going to show you the stuff that we're showing you tonight. Just tonight. No one.
Not that they went and found.
No.
They'll tell you. That's what we were talking about earlier. They'll tell you about somebody else's research,
right?
And then they'll
or something old
and call it hoaxers, like stuff like that. That's what they do.
And this is one of the reasons why I refuse to bring up the Roswell incident of 1947. I mean, that's old news. You guys are tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of hearing about that too. That's why we're bringing up all this new stuff that you guys are just probably going, oh my God, and we're going to keep on doing it. And we still have a lot of stuff, like Alan just said.
And you know what's cool? Like, now we're getting a lot of listeners. I know you guys are doing some research, right? And I know there's some Bigfooters out there. There's some UFO people. There's some ghost hunters. We'd like to hear, like, that. You guys could call in and share your stuff and email us pictures, and we'll have you on the show and talk about your stuff.
Absolutely.
Because that's like what nobody does either, and we want to hear from you guys, and we want to see your pictures, and we want to see the results of your research. I mean, that's what gets me going and keeps me, going after the same research. We're like the same. I mean, I love that stuff.
That's going to be our TV show, guys. We want to bring real people in, and we're going to show you the world what somebody just got last week.
Yeah.
All right, or a month ago, or this person who's been sitting on this photograph or this video, and that he or she got when she was 10 years old in the backcountry, but has never brought it out because she's afraid people are going to laugh at her. But that's not what we're about here. We're about people coming out and finally saying, you know what, Jeff, I got this 20 years ago, and I need for you to see it, and I'm going to show it to you guys, man. We're going to fly them out to our TV show, put them on the couch if they want to come. If they want to come.
If not, we'll Skype you.
Yeah, we can Skype you. Or you just give us permission and we'll show it and you on the phone giving us details or giving everybody details. That's what we want to do, man.
Kind of like how we did Danny at the beginning. We put the pictures up and Danny's talking on the phone.
Right.
And you guys could do that.
Yeah.
I know there's people out there that have some stuff and they don't share it
because
they're afraid.
But let me tell you something.
But we're not going to make fun of you.
No, but let me tell you something. For all those hoaxers and people who want to make fun of us and who want to send in stuff that are hoaxed, we have people who are in law enforcement. Mickey Burrow, as a matter of fact, is our go-to guy. If we get a photograph or a video, we're going to give it to him first, and he's going to analyze it to make sure it is legit. He is the guy who's going to do it for us, all right? So don't think you're going to try to pull a fast one on us. Don't even think, okay?
And we get a lot of stuff that is, it ain't even worthy of even mentioning, really.
Right. But, So, like Alan said, we have so much stuff that we have in the archives and photographs on laptops and in iPhones that I would love to show you, and I'm going to show you, and I think we're going to do that now starting next week. Since now we have 3 hours every night, or not every night, every Sunday.
Maybe we could bring up a little something from the past every show.
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
We'll do the new stuff, and then we'll come back with something that
I like it.
Nobody heard.
I like it. I like that idea a lot. So bring back from the past. Okay, like this.
Right.
The Bigfoot. This is something that a lot of you guys have no clue that we had, and we have it. So there you go. So all right, let's continue on. We got about 15 minutes left, and we are done. Wow, it went by quick. Why? Because we love what we do, and this is going by really quick, man. Seriously. Okay. I am going to show you guys real quick. Let's talk. Ghost maybe. Yeah. Let's see. For the government officials who are listening to us and watching this right now, I have video cameras all over the house that tape and that are hidden and all that kind of good stuff. And a lot of it is automatic. When it snaps the photograph, it will send it via email to me right away. Last 3 weeks ago, my wife was just taking off to go to work, and she went to work, and I got a ding on my phone, and it said, a photograph had just been snapped in your house. Here it is. And I'm looking at it, and I'm going, wait a minute, Shell isn't there. What the heck is this? And all it is a light source, but the camera took a picture of it because there was motion involved. So I want to show you this real quick, and it might be absolutely nothing.
I wonder how many people, like nowadays, Comcast and I think AT&T is selling security stuff, that you can
Oh yeah.
I mean, everybody's rigged nowadays. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, it is. You can go on your iPad and have an app, and you can pull up, really go to the app, and you can see all the cameras in your house.
Right. And then if it's something like that, it'll alert you. Like I've already watched the news and seen people get busted for burglary because, and they catch them right in the house. Because the people are like, wow, there's somebody in my house. Call the cops, and then they go over there and boom,
boom, bust them.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, here is our family room.
And how many might have some of this stuff?
Yeah, exactly, and stuff that I would love to see. Now, this is probably nothing, but I wanted to show it to you because it happened to me. It happened to us in our house. As you can see, it's like, and right before Halloween, we have a dummy right here. See the dummy? Cheryl is getting all the props out and stuff like that. But this light source going from left to right, as you can, it took 2 pictures. It's not at the bottom, but it's at the top. Obviously, it was motion enough for the camera to take a picture. It would only take a picture if something goes across it and sets off the motion.
It looks like close to the camera.
I don't know what it is. Is that a fairy? You know what I'm saying? My wife Cheryl is into this stuff just like I am, and
Here comes the helicopter.
Yeah, it's ticked off because we showed the Bigfoot photo. And she was looking at this and she was going, "Why? I mean, look at that. I mean, what could have done that?"
I don't know.
Okay, a bug couldn't have left the light source like that. She was already gone. This was in the morning. This was in the morning. This was like, I want to say 15, 20 minutes after she left. Then all of a sudden, this thing just happened. Obviously, it's actually it's an object because the camera picked it up and took a photograph of it. So what happens is it takes 2 photographs, one right after the other. So the top one, it got it, and the bottom one, it didn't get it. So whatever it was fast, and it left. And you know what it reminded me of? You know what Tinkerbell on Disneyland, when he goes like this, like this, and it leaves that in the backdrop? That's what this reminds me of. And then Cheryl was going, "Hey," at the front of this is a fairy? I'm just throwing it out there to you guys because this actually happened to us, and we got it on, as far as the photograph goes. So I'm showing it to you. All right, I'm showing it to you. There you go. Okay?
That's interesting. It really is.
I mean, really. I mean, come on. I tried to debunk this. I tried. Even if it was a fly or a bug.
Usually they go by so fast that all you get is a picture and you don't see anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But see, my wife is so into gnomes and fairies, and she is following. She reads a lot of books on that stuff, and it's just weird that we got this, and I don't know what to say. Anybody have any suggestions out there? Chat. What do you think this light source can be? Yeah.
There.
We are stumped too, and I just wanted to show it to you guys. So there you go. All right.
That is interesting looking.
Okay, so another picture that I wanted to. Well, somebody mentioned this and sent a text. I don't remember what it was, but you mentioned this about how do you pronounce that? Shemitah? Shemitah. That the next Shemitah begins in accordance with the Jewish calendar, and that is the new year. That was September the 25th.
Right.
And even I showed you this, and you go, "Whoa, how did I miss that?" Explain to everybody what this is, because Ebola happened to have come to the United States on that same day.
Well, I never heard of the Ebola, happening on the same day, but
I got this from Gina Cantu. It looks like she sent this, and I guess she did some research, and it's just the Ebola broke into the news on September the 25th, and it so happens that is the day when I guess Shemitah occurs. I don't know. I'm not much into this, and I know you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's that. See, that just means a judgment, right?
Right.
That's what it means. So that means Ebola is a judgment, and I don't know. I'm not real big on the Ebola thing.
Right.
Still, I mean.
Okay, now you mentioned something.
I mean, not enough people. Like if 150,000 people die from Ebola, then you got my attention.
Then it's time to really freak out.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned to me that a lot of the mediums and people who can forecast the future and all that kind of stuff are saying something about the next election.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
And
Scare everybody.
Scare everybody. What's weird about it is like it's running the gamut of mediums, seers or whatever, prophets. Even in the Christian world, everybody is saying that the president is not going to be like when the election comes to get rid of the president. There ain't going to be an election. The president Obama is going to be King Obama or whatever.
You know what? William Stillings has been saying that for a long time.
Yeah, he has. But I mean, more and more people are talking about it, and they're having dreams. Like you can go on YouTube and type it in, and you can watch these people, and they'll tell you their dreams.
Now, let's talk about this. We only have like 7 minutes left. What will make this happen?
Well, it already actually he signed the laws to already make it happen. Like it could happen if he makes martial law.
Right.
It could happen.
Do we really think, though, that if something like that, because a lot of people don't like him already as it is, that if that were to happen, people would just sit around and let it happen?
So far, everybody is sitting around and letting it happen.
No.
Okay, but
it drives me nuts.
Like Alan just said, in order for the next election not to occur, something has to happen. And
it could be a giant solar flare. It could be Ebola. Ebola gets big enough.
It has to be a martial law occurrence. So, in other words, let's just say, like Alan said, if Ebola happens to take off, and it's time to bring in the military to cut off the borders, Obama could say, "That's it. We're cutting everything in martial law right now." That suspends all elections until the martial law is taken off. Okay, so like you said, it could be a solar flare. It could be something that he, or not I want to say he, but people that work for him actually do to initiate a power grid shutdown of some kind. False flag. That's where I'm going with this. A false flag. Okay. If he initiates a martial law, all elections are suspended, and it will be president from now until he takes martial law off the table.
Right.
And that he can, that can never happen. I mean, he can just say, you know what, we're still in harm's way. Martial law is still occurring, and
well, I think everybody, like Emerald was saying, they're not going to sit still for it.
Right.
But everybody better look around. Like, there is lots of FEMA camps now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Homeland Security, they just bought billions.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, like, people aren't doing anything now.
Right.
Only because we're not really seeing it.
Well,
we are, because we kind of know we're digging. But once something big like that happens, once he makes that happen, it's going to be right in our face, and people are going to be like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, but only the problem is they already been preparing.
Yeah, well, I mean, at that point, there'd be nothing we could do except violence.
Alan's friends, one of the reasons why the law enforcement personnel are not... Wow, you hear those sirens?
Yeah.
Okay, the law enforcement personnel are not supposed to, or the higher-ups are not liking what we're talking about. It's because, like what Alan said, that we actually are really close to, like, the Agenda 21 thing,
right, yeah.
The forest being shut down.
And you know what? They don't agree with it.
Okay.
They don't agree with it either, but only they're, like, close to retirement or something like that, and they can't get involved.
Okay.
That's simple as that. They have to back off, and they just hope everybody wakes up.
Right. So that's 1 minute to music, right?
Yes.
1 minute to music.
Yeah, okay, guys.
We told you like 10 times.
We are done. We are
She was
done
yelling at
here at Paranormal Central. That was 3 hours. I think we could probably still go on, but you know what? Like Alan, I love Alan's idea. We're going to bring back some of the past for all those who are now and have never heard about a lot of the stuff that we have. We have stuff like what we showed you tonight. We're still going to blow you away. Going to blow you the freaking away. All right? So I want to thank you for all those who are tuning in tonight and
Go subscribe on YouTube.
Go subscribe to YouTube.
We'll have some new stuff.
Yes, and tell everybody about us. I mean, spread the word, all right? The more people who watch us, the better for everybody. And I just want to thank everybody for coming and tuning in. All right, you guys? My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez with Ellen Thomas and Emerald Bonilla. I want to thank you. This has been Paranormal Central. Keep your eyes in the skies because you never know what you might look at to find, actually. So take care, guys. See ya.
Bye, everybody.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies. And we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe?